Hello. Hello. Let's bring this down. Okay, start the game. Give me a second, guys. Hello. Hope you all doing okay. Having a great day, I hope. Just starting, it's starting. Starting slowly, surely. Amazingly. Yes, game. Thank you. There you go. Are we good? I believe we are. Maybe a bit louder, maybe. Maybe not, maybe more like this, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, well, yeah, like this. This looks better. Okay, let's continue what we started. Oh, I need to read. Oh, I need to read. Not entirely ready. Road trip. Let's go. Wait, it's a bit loud for me. Let me be. Let me. Blah blah. Yes, of course. Of course. Let me make it a little bit quieter for me. For you guys, it won't change a thing, but for me it will. Even though you were awake, the sun had barely peaked its head above the horizon, and the sky above was still dark, though lightning by the minute. Usually you wouldn't be up so early, especially during summer vacation, but today was different. Today, instead of the lazy days you were used to, everything around you was a flurry of activity as both of your family and cows prepared for what lay ahead. Some road trip with both families? Ooh, nice. Because parked in the street just outside your house was a massive RV camper. So big you couldn't even see Co's house behind it. That is kinda hard. Let's be honest, that is kinda hard to not see that house, you know, like... That is kinda hard, but okay. Sure, I'll accept it. His parents had rented the RV for a few days to take him on a short road trip to see the Redwood National Park. You glanced at Cove, and who was standing nearby taking in the scene in front of him. The prospect of the trip had to be a mix of bag for him, but it was only 3 days, so it seemed he was dealing with it as best he could. Especially now that you and your family were joining them. You weren't sure how exactly it had happened. You knew your parents and cows spoke to each other often, and somewhere along the way plans were made after Cliff offered to share a space. So both family are going to end up in an RV, like one. It must be huge. Kinda wish we could see it. The parents all thought it was a fantastic idea. It is. I actually like the idea. I do. You had already gotten a good look inside while helping to load everything in, and you had to admit that while it was a really big car, fitting that many people inside was going to be a snug. Yep, probably. Oh yeah, I can see it.
Let's go.
Move it or lose it, kiddo. Mom bustled past with a cooler in one hand and a large bottle of water under the other. She was upbeat for this early in the morning. Kind of pog, Mom? Oh, Ma is not pogging though. Ma, however, seemed to be on the other side of the wavelength. She followed behind her wife, dragging her feet on every step. I'm going to need a whole jug of coffee once we hit the road. You, not coffee. Ma, come on, not coffee. I can relate to Ma, it was way too early. Personally, it was raring to go as your mom. It felt like you were in the middle ground between the two. Middle ground. Let's go middle ground. I like the middle ground. You just tried to keep up and took in some deep breaths. The air was still a little damp from dew, but you didn't mind it. Okay. And then, at the end of the chain, came your sister. She had a bone to pick before the trip officially started. Her rattling off critics added some level of normalcy to everything new going on. Ugh. I don't get why I can't sleep in the bed tonight. Jimmy's the youngest, and I'll never fall asleep in that loft. Girl, just... I'm gonna bury you alive. We're trying to make things fair on everyone. If you want to play the older card, you should be offering to take the loft both nights. It's important for big siblings to make sacrifice for their younger ones. Huh, eat that. Eat it in your face. Elizabeth huffed, not happy with that answer in the slightest, and folded her arms, leaning back against the side of the RV. The trip plan had been nailed down prior, with the sleeping arrangement included. Elizabeth still hold on to her objections with them. There was a main area of the RV with a couch, a loft, and some floor space. At the end of the car was a room with a large bed. Your moms were sharing the bed. Kira was on the couch, and father and son intended to sleep on the floor. The adults determined you and Elizabeth would switch between the small loft above the driver's seat and sharing the bed with moms. You were fine with the arrangement, you were excited to sleep in the loft, you felt sharing a bed with your parents was going to be awkward, probably true. You were looking forward to a sleepover with your moms. I'm 12, I'm not a kid anymore. You weren't too happy either, but didn't want to make a fuss. You thought it was unfair that Co had to sleep on the floor. Bro, I would have expected me to sleep on the floor too, so not really, I'm awkward. You weren't a kid anymore, and yet you were gonna have to sleep next to your moms. They assured you they tried to keep you space for the one night you had to share. But you're still not pleased. Alright, you lot. Does everyone have everything they need? Yes, ma'am. We're heading off in 5 minutes. Now's the time to double check. You don't want to forget something important. She probably should like a yawn or something, I don't know. It's like it would be appropriate. Little yawn. We're heading out in 5 minutes. Now is the time to double check. Oh yeah. Okay, I thought I passed. At the word, Elizabeth yelped and dashed back into the house, her bedhead hair bouncing behind her as she went. Ma came over and gave you a smile, setting her hands on her hips. How about you, Jamie? What do you mean? Why you look at me like that? Do you have all of the clothes packed? Toiletry, deodorant, floss, anything else you can think of? You were confident you had it all. You weren't sure about that. Oh, you had to run back inside the house, inside for something. You just gave her a flat look. You know what? I'm gonna be confident because I'm the type of guy that I will make sure like 5 times the day before that I have everything I need. So like, bro, I'm good. Wanting to make sure everything was organized and ready to go, you had packed the night before and set your alarm too. Yep, I'm good. That's great. We'll have to wait for the ones who weren't as organized, but we'll be heading out shortly. With a few minutes left to spare before leaving, you mentally went over what you had packed for the trip. Clothes, a pillow, and a blanket. Usually day-to-day gear for most people. You also had more personal things, such as a portable gaming console, probably true, pencil, paper, I wish, your favorite stuffed animal, basically over like right next to me, so maybe not, Hello, Night. Hello. How are you? How you doing? How are you? Whoopsie, sorry, but I late. I'm such a bad mod. No, don't worry, you're not late. I started like 6 minutes ago. No, maybe not. 8, maybe something like that. Anyway, not much. I didn't start long ago. Don't worry. You arrive when you can. Don't worry about it. Thank you for being here, though. Thank you. How are you doing? What did you do today? You should be proud of me. I'm doing fine, trying to get back on exercise. Wait, you know what? I got chubby. I'm sure you're still very cute and hot. Sir, you are hot, okay? You're not chubby, you're hot. Anyway. You should be proud because you know what? Me too. I'm back on my exercise. I did it today. Like a big boy. You know, I was like let's go. Oh, I'm not, and thank you. I saw you, sir. Pog, exactly. You know, I was like, I'm dying, but keep going. What'd you do? A few like different exercise, like ab exercise and like squats and push-ups and a lot of other stuff. That's basically what I did right before shower because I was like, I don't want to be stinky. As soon as I was over, I was in the shower because I was like, it's stinky now. But yeah, I did a lot of different exercise, which I felt like I was totally dying. But you know what? It was fun. I'm glad I did it. I am very glad. A couple of things to read. That could be an answer. I can't want to take those 3. Bag of makeup, maybe not. A ball, maybe not. Camera, maybe not. An MP3 player with headphones, absolutely yes. I cannot live without music. No, I'm not leaving my house without any music on me. That's not possible, no. With so much time going to be spent driving in the car, you wanted to make sure you'd be able to have some music to put on. And like, come on, just imagine the little scene, you know, you're listening to your, oh, thank you, James Morningstar, thank you for the follow, thank you. And welcome on my stream, welcome. What exercise? We're upset, just trying to motivate myself. I did like, what I did is I put like a video on a guy doing like his own exercise, and I kind of like follow along, you know, like I do my exercise for a certain amount of time. But what I did was, what did I do? I do like abs exercise, like the normal regular ones. That's with what I start. Then I start with like raising my legs, and then I'll go up and down, you know. There's also like kind of different types of planks. Like there's the normal one, you know, when you're moving. I do one where you're like your like ribs kind of like turn, you know, like you kind of turn your like waist to the side, one side then the other. Basically, it's hard to explain. I don't know like the names of this exercise, but I did like planks where you like go up and down basically with your arm. Go up on your hands and go back down on the forearm and stuff. I did that. What else did I do? Squats, I said that. Push-ups, I said that too. What did I do else? Do you have the kind of like exercise kind of like all kind of like that, except it works like different part of your body? Can you send me the vid? Yeah, sure. Let me go. I actually have 2 of them. Wait, let me. Also, like, warning alert. He's hot. The sir is very hot. Computer, can you stop lagging? Shush. Okay, here is, I think, the first one. Listen, it's not my fault if he's hot, okay? I didn't pick the video because he's hot. I picked the video because I like the exercise. And here's the second one. And that's all the things I do. I don't actually spend like that much time doing this exercise, to be honest. But I can tell you that afterwards I feel it. I stupidly feel it. Like, bro, when I need to get up from my chair, I'm crying. My legs are crying. But yeah, if you wanna do this exercise too, feel free, no? But that's the ones I do, basically. And like when you watch a video, you might think, oh, that's easy. And then you do it and you're dying. You do it and you die. That's it. Stupidly enough, the hardest one is the one called mountain climber. That thing is horrible to do. I hate it. That's the one I'm like, when I see it coming, I'm like, here we go again. Here we go again. Yeah, that's basically what I do. It doesn't look, like I said, for like a very amount of like time. It doesn't feel like you're exercising for like very long. But I can tell you, I feel it, you know? I feel it. I feel it very much even. Yeah, anyway, there you go. So much time going to be spent driving in a car. You wanted to make sure you'd be able to have some music put on. Oh, and by the way, hello James. You said hey, hello. Sorry, I was explaining the thing, so hello. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And yeah. yeah. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome on my stream, welcome. Oh, some of the exercise feel like it's going to hurt a lot when you do it badly. I guess it could. Yeah, if you do it badly, yeah. But honestly, I feel like it's kind of harder to make them badly, you know? The guy kind of shows you how to make them, you know? So like... But yeah, basically that's the exercise I do. Is there like any exercise in those that you do too, Night? With so much time going to be spent driving a car. Oh wait. I just realized. Sorry, I go back to the game afterwards. James is the 50th follower. He's number 50. He's number 50, which means VIP badge. I have a VIP badge now. Well, I'll have it soon, you know, like when Twitch decide that my stuff is correct, you know. When it decide to update itself, I will have it. So yeah, thank you very much, James. Your follow means a lot. Thank you very much. Now I'm doing simple stuff. Yeah, there are simple stuff in that in those videos, to be honest. They are. Let me drink some tea before we get back to the game. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I'm supposed to go back to the game. I'm not going back to the game. Listen, doing my best, okay? Listen, doing my best. 100 reps of decline push-up, 60 pull-ups and dips. Ooh, that is a lot. Not surprising you take 2 to 3 hours to do your exercise. And then this me who takes like 50 minutes. I'm just doing it to move a little bit, you know. Where's my thing? Give me a second. There's something I need to look. If it is, I'm gonna be kind of scared, you know. Oh shit! It's not. Oh shit. Well, I guess the voice actor for this game is gonna just follow me here on Twitch too. Thank you. Kind of puts the pressure, you know. 2 hours just walk. You know what you should do is have a dog, and just when you walk, just put the leash on your dog. You know, you have a little bit of a good company. You know, it only take 45 minutes to 1 hour. That's still like a little bit a lot, you know. Nothing wrong with that though. It's just you know, I don't know if I would have like the motivation to be like do what you do for like few hours. You know, I respect you in that matter. Like respect. Anyway, now getting back to the game, especially that the voice actor for Baxter, I think it is. Is it Baxter? Baxter? Wait, I think it's something like that anyway. Just follow me here on Twitch, you know, so I kind of feel like I gotta play the game now. Gotta play the game. Let me play. Yeah. Okay. With Chubby, I need to. You know what? I feel like every time you say you're chubby, I want to punch you. You know, like, you know, a kind punch. You know, a kind one. But I want to punch you. You're not chubby. Yes, man. Yes, man. And again, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. And to anyone else listening. Even though I'm not celebrating Christmas, you know. Merry Christmas to you. With so much time going to be spent driving a car, you wanted to make sure you'd be able to have some music to put on. Gaming. I cannot be a gaming streamer without choosing the gaming option, you know? That's not possible. Doesn't feel right. The drive to the Redwood National Park would be an entire day, one way. So you wanted to make sure you had a way to entertain yourself while traveling there and back. Taking pencil and paper even though I want to. I feel like it's a bit like overkill, you know, like choosing a bit too much. And also just like, I can't draw. I wish I could be an artist, but I can't draw. One day I will learn, but right now the skill is at 0, you know. So a couple of things to read. I like reading. You had packed ones of your old favorites and a new one you've never tried before. You knew you'd have plenty of time for them both on such a long drive. And that was everything, because otherwise it's going to be a bit of a kill. Hey, let me take that for you, Jamie. I'll stow it in the RV. There's a few spots left, I'll fit. It'll fit. You let Kira take your bag and gave her a grateful smile. With nothing left to do, you watched the other getting ready for the trip. Kira and Cliff seemed to have the most energy of anyone. They were finishing packing the suitcases away while your moms had gone to lock up the house. They high-fived whenever another one got cramped into the storage compartment of a vehicle. Even though your own parents were more low-key than Cove's, you could tell they were both excited for the trip. It had been a while since your family had been away anywhere together. She's never going out, I see. Elizabeth skipped toward the RV, a bag slung over her shoulder, and you were surprised to see she seemed more optimistic about the whole ordeal now. What happened? Did she have a secret lover or something like that? Or what happened? Usually she wasn't one to exit the confines of her room unless it was for TV or food, or to leave her family behind to be with friends. Coucou Zera, coucou. Comment ça va? On s'est déjà parlé, mais bon. You would have thought 3 whole days packed in an RV with 6 others would be too much for her. But it was a nice surprise. You suppose any vacation was better than no vacation in her mind. Cove had been pretty quiet so far and, more than anything, seemed to be overwhelmed by the situation. You were excited for a trip too, were very excited for a trip either, you were eager to get to the destination, you were curious about the RV, you didn't feel much either way about the plans. Huh. I kind of am curious about the RV, you know? I'm a curious person, I want to, like, see things. Like, RV? What does it look like inside? That's kind of me, you know? I don't really care about where we're going, just like, what does it look like inside? What do we do? Does it look pretty? That's me. And then after that, I think about the destination, you know? Like, where are we going again? Again? Oh, Spain? Yeah, warm. Yeah, good, yeah, whatever. I chose Spain like a random country, I don't know. And so yeah, I think that would be me first. You'd never stayed overnight in one before, and you wanted to know what it'd be like. Soon the... Why you gotta do this to me? Soon the... Miscellaneous? Soon the remaining task had all been wrapped up. Me losing patience. Everyone piled into the RV. It was officially time for the trip to start. And it did. Cliff took the first shift driving. He cautiously navigated the massive car out of the narrow neighborhood streets. It was touch and go for the very... What? Was touch and go for the first part of the journey? What does it mean? Huh? My English is not Englishing. Your moms and Kira were all huddled at the front, trying to get a view of how much space they had on each side. There was a sense of relief when the first long leg of the trip was hit, and the RV would only need to go down one stretch of highway for miles. The mom group cleared out of the driver's area, leaving Co's dad to it, taking more comfortable seats around the maid cabin. You felt like you could finally relax now too. Time slipped by as morning faded away. Oh! I didn't even realize we actually see the inside of a camping car. For me, we're still in front of the house. I was just reading the story like we read the book, you know? I kind of forgot the thing changed. I didn't even look at it. Oh, bed. Does anybody wonder how you get on that bed? Hello, better. You had to come right at the moment when I talk about bed. Of course you did, you know, like right the moment I talk about bed, that's when I see you, of course. So yeah, like, everybody wonders how we get there. Like, you Spider-Man crawling to it. I can actually see, what I can see is like going on the sofa here, then like jumping there, like I don't know, like you're in a video game and then like you, I don't know, like you're Lara Croft or something, and then only go up, trying to not also hit your head on the ceiling, because that's possible. Like just imagine, you know, you're in the morning and like, you know, yawning, and then you like get up and then ish, head on the ceiling, ish. Yeah, you hand on the ceiling and spider wheel way there. Yeah. That's kind of... To be fair though, I've already been in a camping car and like the ceiling is not very like high. Like, literally, whoops, if you tippy toe, like your head will touch the ceiling, you know? Well, I guess that's one way to go back to sleep again. I wouldn't mind if you're next to me. Hey. I like the cushion. It's pretty. Can I? Oh, whoops. I can turn back like that. Oh, there you go. Are you both? What the heck are you saying? Like, what? Did you two do this stuff behind my back? Huh? Do I have to be careful of you two? Huh? I'm just saying hello. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Sussy. Sussy you. I'm sussing you both. What? Uh-huh. That's how you greet in my language? Huh. I have no idea how you pronounce it though. So I'm not gonna try. I'm sorry, I'm not even gonna try. I try to remember how it's written though. Saying hello to you in your language is kinda cool. Damn, Knight, you kind of being cool right now. Like, what the hell? Why are you being cool, huh? We don't use it on normal conversation. It's more like when student greet teacher, elder, and whatnot. Oh. How do you like would say hello to like, I don't know, a friend, or like, I don't know, like boyfriend, girlfriend, or wife, husband, I don't know. What would be the like regular hello, you know? Tell me. You already didn't know how I'm gonna use it. You already know. You already know. Like a formal hello. Yeah. Did you actually like Google it, Night? Did you actually like went on Google and went like, how do we say the formal hello? Or did you know like already? Maybe, yeah. I see. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, friends. Yeah. So yeah, what's the informal? Is that the right word? Informal? Maybe not. To be honest, you just say hi. That's kind of sad. I was hoping for a word, you know. I was kind of hoping I could be like, hey, butter, and say that word and be like, I'm pogging, you know, like, fine. Or that word, which mean how you doing? Oh. Noted. That's me in my head. Noted. I will remember this. I will remember that one word. Anyway, go back to the game. Before you... Nope, my mouth is not going back to the game. Nope, my mouth is not doing it. Nope. Before you realized it, the engine of the RV came to a stop, but only halted for a few moments as Cliff climbed out of the driver's seats and mouth took over. I will remember that one word. I don't know how to pronounce it. Yes, that is me. Like, next time you stream and I'm there, just tell me how to pronounce it, you know? Just teach me. Teach me then. Just teach me then, you know? You know what? You could actually put that, what you just said, brother, in the quote channel on my Discord, you know? That could be a thing. Shoot. Not another one. Not another quote, please. Don't do this to me. Wait, let me drink some tea first. My mouth is dry. Okay. Ma was sitting shotgun. Sitting shotgun? What is that? What is sitting shotgun? Wait, let me get an image. Whoops. Sitting shotgun. Show me something. I don't know. Why are you showing? Huh? It's just the normal regular, just the normal regular position. People are just showing me the normal regular position in the car. Okay. Well, I guess you're just sitting normally then, you know? Ma was sitting shotgun, giving Mom a quick tutorial on the controls, as it was her first time driving anything this large. Just be fine. You'll be fine, Mom, don't worry. Just be careful of the back of the RV, you know? Cliff groaned as he headed towards the rest of you, stretching his arm above his head and loosening up his muscles. Belly? Can we see a belly? Nope. We're making good progress. Yeah, maybe you should take a nap in the back for a while. That was a long haul you just did, and I know you're on less sleep than usual. I really like the art for Kira. Like, I don't know, there's something about her, it gives her a very distinct-like character. Like, you could imagine how she would be like in real life, you know? And là comme nos ceci. Uh-huh. Can you say that again while actually believing what you're saying? Because we both know that you and me both don't believe what you just said. We both know that's not true. You're my neighbor in the honey jail. You're my neighbor, you know? You are my neighbor. You're stuck with me. Are you stuck with me? Don't say a thing about that sentence. Just ignore it, you know? Pretend that doesn't make you think about anything. Cliff waved a hand, that trademark grin on his slipping into place. His slipping into place? What? That sounds so weird, so sussy. Like, I don't know, like he's slipping into place in his pant or something, you know? It sounds weird. The game is being sussy.
Nah.
I don't need to sleep. I still got a few miles in the old tank. Uh-huh. What old tank? What are we talking about? If I'm going to be sussy, am I just sussy on it tonight? Why me only? Why only me? Why me? What did I do? Why me? He flexed an arm, showing off his muscles, to drive the point about how resolute he was home, and Kira rolled her eyes in amusement. Dad, everybody has to sleep. Cove shook his head at the tough guy act, though Cliff simply chuckled and ruffled his son's hair.
So?
I could have been blah 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 blah. Okay. Are you going to be driving again anytime soon, Mr. Holden? I want to know so I can prepare. What do you mean? Was he savage? Wasn't going hard? Did anyone pack some rope? I might need it. There's no silbat up here. Up here? Where the heck are you sitting? Elizabeth called down from where she was lounging on the loft above the driving compartment, so she is basically there. I want to be there. Move. It's my place. It looks cool. Move. Come on. Sis, come on. You gonna make me wait until tomorrow to have it? Like, come on, bro. Sis, not cool, you know? You're not very cool with me. Elizabeth? Yeah, I just read that. She was laying on her back, with her hair falling over the side, and swinging around as the RV starting up again and took off down the road. Well, in the first place, why are you laying down there while he's driving, you know? If you fall over and break your neck, it's your fault. It is your fault, not mine. Sure, yeah. A bag of potato chip was balanced on Elizabeth's stomach, and she tossed a couple in her mouth right as Cliff held her hand to his chest, pretending to be offended by the remark. Kira laughed light-heartedly.
Don't worry about that.
Lucky for all of us, we have enough adults to cover the I was gonna say the shit. No. To cover the shift today. He won't be driving again until tomorrow. You stayed quiet. You shook your head at the ribbing. Phew, that's a relief. Just enough time to wrap up my last will and testament. Why, we shouldn't gag up on the poor guy. It's not his driving I'm worried about. Ouch. Honestly, I'm hesitating on not hanging up on him and staying quiet, you know? Is this just hanging up? Yeah, let's just I'm hanging up, you know? I'm on the phone. It's fine, I'm on the phone. Mom, I'm on the phone. Anyway, yeah, the phone. I don't know, bro. Thank you, at least someone here is on my side. Mom then shouted back in her seat to join in the conversation, a playful smile tilting her lips. What I'm more worried about is the old monster getting us there. Is the old monster getting us there and back again before falling apart? What's she talking about? It looks as though it was built in the early 90s. It must be older than some of the occupants. Is she talking about the RV? Is she? It's just the aesthetic of the decor. It's not that old. I think. That is me, you know. I think. Did you ask what year the model was before you rented it? Kira wrinkled her nose in thought.
Hey!
Wrinkled her nose? Yes, I did. I just can't remember what the answer was. How to say you didn't listen? Cliff chuckled at her, while the rest of you let out a collective sigh. Yep, I can understand why. The RV lurched a little as it picked up speed, and you held onto the ladder to the loft to keep your balance. A ladder? Okay, I guess. You felt something graze the top of your head before a weight settled on your yellow hair. Huh. When you tilted your chin up carefully to look, you heard the rustling of the bag of chips and realized Elizabeth had rested the end of it on your head. I'm going to bury you alive, girl. What do you think I am, your table? She gestured to the opening, silently offering to share her snack. Okay, fine, you're forgiven. Reaching up, you scooped up some chips, after the weight of the packet left your scalp. You happily munched away as the conversation continued on, and you got closer and closer to your destination. The day flew by, with the group of you chatting, playing games and passing the time together before finally arriving at the park and setting up for the night. Ma was closing the windows while everyone got ready for bed, saying goodnight to the others as she made her way to the back room. You all had dinner together while still driving, and and some hours after you had arrived at your destination and found a spot to park in for the rest of your stay. Giving a look across the front of the RV, you noticed almost everyone there was already dozing off where they were, with Cove having completely fallen asleep, curled up in the passenger seat. I wonder, does any of you do something else and just listen to it like I'm reading a book to you or something? Does anyone do that, or is it just not happening? I guess. He must have done so while Kira was driving the last leg, and they had decided not to disturb him. Kira herself was the only one up there who was still awake, flipping through a magazine next to a portable light from her spot on the couch. It seemed Mr. Holden needed to sleep despite his claims. I get it though, because being in our RV kinda for some reason puts you to sleep. I don't know, it's a little bit it makes you want to sleep somehow. I've been in one, so I know. You followed your moms into the back room and closed the door behind you before crawling onto the bed between them. It was a queen-size bed, so there was enough space for the three of you together without too much squishing.
Good night.
Get a good rest, Jamie. We've got a big day ahead of us tomorrow.
That's fantastic.
Oh, the voices are actually very similar. I just realized that the voice for the both line were very similar somehow. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm looking forward to the bushwalk in the morning. It's been a long time since I was out in nature like this. There will be plenty for us to see. You stayed awake for a little while longer, while your moms whispered about the park and forest in general. With the sound of their voice in the background, eventually you nodded off to sleep. The next morning, you were up bright and early, preparing for the day ahead. You had slept well, you had an okay sleep, you had slept terribly. Honestly, a queen-size bed in an RV with 3 people on it is you're a bit it's a bit narrow, you know. It's you don't have much room. So I feel like slept well will be a bit yeah, not much chances it's happening, you know. A bit cramped, yeah, exactly. I feel like the slept well, not possible, you know. I feel like it's not possible. The okay sleep could be possible, and the terrible sleep would be like, Mom, you snored. Mom, you were snoring. But that's kind of the thing, you know. And come on, let's not make our mom snore, you know. Let's not do that to her. Come on. Let's just be like, yeah, Mom, I had a good sleep, you know. You weren't snoring at all. You believe me, right? It was nothing compared to your bed at home, but at least you didn't have to sleep on the floor, so you couldn't complain too much. True. Ma whined a bit about the firmness of the mattress, but Mom only had encouraged her to enjoy the trip while she could. While looking for a spot to get ready, you had some trouble finding a space of your own, as the others were doing the same thing. Let me change position. Cove was perched on top of the counter, brushing his hair and tucking up his legs every time someone wanted to move past. The parents were double checking, and triple checking that you had everything, to the point where you had stopped listening to them altogether. Actually me. That is actually me. You knew you wouldn't be returning to the RV at all that day, but by the look of the backpack that were packed up and ready to go, you doubted anything was missing from them. Tea. Okay, you want to change to your side or back? Are you trying to act like you're top? Are you trying? Huh? You saucy. You saucy baka. No. Yeah. I see you, sir. It didn't take much longer until you all exited VRV in a bustle. Why do you have to choose that word? And headed into the Redwood National Park.
Wow.
That is very pink. What the heck? What the heck? Bro, what the hell? Oh, bro? What the hell? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, means a lot. Thank you. Thank you, my first donation. Merry Christmas, homie. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you though, what? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Of course I'm first. Makes sense, you know, the brother being the first. How you doing today? I heard you went to the restaurant yesterday with your girlfriend. Hope that went well. Wow. Cove had his head tilted up towards the canopy of trees. What the hell is a canopy of trees? Yeah, it was nice. Nice. Glad to hear. Expensive as F, but nice. Yeah. I can imagine the price. I can somehow imagine the big price, you know? I can see it, you know? Back to the game. Ow. My elbow just cracked. Totally normal. Happens all the time. Cove had his head tilted up towards the canopy of trees. What the hell is a canopy? His eyes wide as he took in the massive trunks on either side of you. Okay, time to try hard on League as let all have fun. Thank you. You two have fun. I hope you win. You know, I haven't touched that game in 6 years. It's been 6 years, yes, I have played League. No joke, 6 years. I can't believe I had my first donation. I'm still shocked about it. I'm like, what just happened to me? What the hell just happened to me? You played League? What the heck? A very, very, very long time ago. And I wasn't the type of guy that was like raging and stuff, you know? I was just like, just there having my fun with my friends, and that was it, you know? I never took the game seriously or anything. But yeah, I played the game like 6 years ago. Are you plat? No, I am not. I was like bronze or like silver because I never tried to actually be good at the game. According to like Roxas, I was like more towards the gold level actually. I didn't belong in like silver or bronze. I don't know if it's called bronze in English or not, but whatever. But I never really tried hard the game, so you know, never. I never actually tried to be good at the game, like, literally. And my main, if you wanted to know, was Caitlyn. I used to play Caitlyn the most. Was her that I felt the most like comfortable on. I didn't know Annie and Brand also. These were like my top three, with Morgana being the fourth. But anyway, yeah, that's my league pass, and I stopped 6 years ago because I was bored to death and never went back on the game. You knew that the redwood trees here were considered the tallest trees on Earth. Where are you? But you weren't prepared for exactly how huge they would be in person. I didn't play League, but I used to play Dota. What is Dota? What is that? The only like game that I played that is like that, you know, a bit like competitive and stuff, is League. I have like never played Apex or like Overwatch or what's the other one? CSGO or any other game like that actually. Like never, I never downloaded them, you know. It's like League. Okay. Never played it either, you know. I've played obviously like MMORPGs, but League was the only one that is more like competitive kind of thing, you know. The other ones I played were like Guild Wars 2 or FF14 and stuff, but otherwise, yeah, I played League, and I'm playing League tomorrow with Haya, you know, which by the way, send me a message. Let me. Oh, whoops! I did not read that. Sorry. Oh no, actually, it's the one I think I read. You're showing me? Never mind. I checked. Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow I'm streaming League with Haya. He's going to be teaching me what I missed on League the last 6 years. He's going to be my teacher. It's a bit, I stream a bit later than usual though. Because, you know, time difference and stuff. But yeah, tomorrow. I hope you guys will be there. Come to see me having a hard time about what the hell this new champion is doing. Smile, you two. You spent just in time for Kira to snap a picture of you and Cove together, before she pointed the camera at Cliff, trying to get a shot despite his weak protest that she should just enjoy the moment. He was so embarrassed. He was so cute. He was so cute. Your parents were walking behind the group a little, with Mom telling Ma some information she had read about the park in the brochure. That looks appropriate. It does look like Mom would be the nerd type of mom, who would know stuff. I need to do one thing though. Give me a second, guys. Give me a small I remember there's one thing I would like to do. There you go. Done. If you wonder just what the hell just happened in that 1 second, I put back the sound of my Discord of how it used to be because I modified it. That is literally all. Yeah, I know. Weird. I know. Your parents were walking. Oh yeah, I read that. Thank you. Mal listened happily while looking around and taking in the sight. Every now and then asking a question and making a joke about something Mom had said. You smiled at them, thinking your mom must have read a lot of pamphlets to know so much about the park. Maybe you should come and work here as a tour guide, if you know so much about the place. Elizabeth teased, earning a squeeze on the nose from your mom. She seemed to be enjoying herself, but you thought that might just be because she was amused by everyone else's reactions. You were in awe of the redwood trees. You were fascinated by the sensations surrounding you. You were in a good mood. You weren't as impressed as the others. You were embarrassed that the adults were being so touristy. No. If the tree is as huge as this and the highest on earth, I would probably be a bit more wow than this, you know. But I don't think it would be this like that, you know. I would be a little bit fascinated, but would it be like it? No, it would be like that's it. So yeah, this one. Birds' call echoed all around you, and once or twice something would rustle in underbrush. You strained your eyes through the trees for any sign of wildlife, and managed to catch a glimpse of a rabbit bouncing through the foliage. The adults had decided on some casual nature walks, rather than any serious hiking, and you strolled along at your own pace, taking in the scenery. Elizabeth sped up a little, smirking at Cove as she fell into place between the two of you. Seriously, sis? Seriously? You gonna do this? And immediately you could tell by her expression she was gonna say something taunting. Can we bury her in this game? Is it an option, like a DLC or something? Can it, please? Can we? If there is a DLC where we bury her alive, I'm buying it. I'm buying that DLC. Like, I mean, I will buy all the story DLC one day. We will be doing them. But if there is like a bury your sister DLC, it's the first one I'm buying. The first one. No hesitation. I can't believe the families are actually on vacation together. She threw her arms out, speaking with a genuine sense of bewilderment. I would have joked about something like this happening, but now I'm not sure I want to give them any more ideas. Cove smiled at her, even if it is a little awkwardly, and continued walking along. Just watch. Next year they'll be talking about their next new amazing idea. She put on a fake voice deeper than her own. We should just sell both our houses and move in together. Think of how much we'd save on the mortgage. That's a weird idea. It was clear that Elizabeth was being sarcastic. Cove simply shook his head, not really bothered by her. You suppose he was used to it by this point? But seriously, they really do act like we're a single family just because we live across the street from each other. You used to too, you know, you used to do that too, you dumbass. Elizabeth gave you and Cove a look, her eyes glinting with mischief as she leered at you.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we will be related, legally anyway. I just say her. I just say her at this point. Throw me under the bus. She said it as though she was a gossipy old lady. She is. She is an old lady, okay? She is. But she almost immediately dropped the tone and nonchalantly said her real thoughts. At least, that's what Ma thinks. Cove still blushed, which made Elizabeth smile triumphantly, as though that was her whole purpose for teasing him. Then he mumbled quietly, refusing to make eye contact with either of you. I don't know why you think you're so funny when no one else does. Ouch! I love you, boy. I love you. You're the best. You're the best. You told her to cut it out already. Cove has a point. It wasn't a great comment. I'll marry you. Cove. You ignored Elizabeth. You're embarrassed. I want to click this. I want to click it, but I'll go for this one. I kind of want to tell her to shut up. You know. You don't need to ruin the day with that. Oh, I thought you would be happy someone put the idea in Cove's head. I don't think he's making plans about marrying anyone right now. Elizabeth made a smug face, saying in a sing-song voice, I wouldn't be so sure about that. I hate you. Cove frowned and reddened harder, but pretended to ignore what she was saying. The day continued on, with plenty to see and experience. You passed a few different activities that you would have liked to try out, if you had the time, such as kayaking and rock climbing, but Ma said that it would have to wait for another trip. There was a little stream during the walk that you sat beside and set out a picnic for lunch, nibbling for a selection of fruit, sandwiches and chips. Various birds flew by overhead, and you made a game out of guessing the species that were hanging out in the trees nearby. You even managed to get a couple of them right, including the kingfisher that grabbed half of Cliff's sandwich. We were glad you got to do this in the end. You were disappointed to only have one day in the park. You thought the long trip wasn't worth it. You had a fun hanging out in the RV. Let's be happy, let's be glad, you know. It was definitely a special experience, and one you'd remember for a long time to come. You smiled to yourself, committing the sight and sound to memory. The group made it back to campus just as the sun was setting in the sky, and the stars were appearing one by one. Everyone had enjoyed different parts of it most. You traded stories of what you thought while you were eating dinner. Then afterwards, you pitched in to help clean up. You, along with Elizabeth and Cove, got to head back to the RV early and spend some time together while the parents stayed outside longer. It was nice to have the space to yourselves after that cramped journey there. And while Elizabeth had locked herself in the back room with her headphones, you and Cove were left in the main lounge area. You headed up to the loft to relax on your own. You hang out with Cove. Let's hang out with him. We might as well get comfortable. Who knows how long they'll be out for? You took a seat on the sofa while Cove sat down on the other end, tapping his fingers against his knees. You nervous? Your cheek warmed a little at that. Being close to him never failed to feel exciting. You'd seen Cove nearly every day for the past 5 years, but seeing him in a jacket was still somewhat unusual. In Northern, Southern California, he could get away with that. It was a simple difference from his normal style, yet you couldn't help but noticing the way he looked right now. It looked great on him. In fact, Cove always looked nice. And when Cove clicked his throat, your eyes snapped to his. He had an eyebrow raised and had clearly caught you staring at him.
What?
Is everything okay? You averted your gaze from me entirely? Yeah, don't worry about it. That looks nice on you. Everything is really good. Mm-hmm. You nodded while saying nothing. That looks nice on you. Cove immediately blushed at that unexpected compliment. What? You didn't say anything more than that one-word question. You decided to elaborate further. You know, I hardly ever see you wearing a jacket, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like wearing as few layers as possible. It's easier that way. I'd rather be cold than extra hot, and it's kind of a pain to carry extra clothes around. Are you saying that you're naked under? My parents made me bring this jacket. I'm the same way. I don't mind it either way. I love wearing layers. I love layers and accessories too. I don't mind either way. I just depend on the weather or how I'm feeling at the time. Cove smiled lightly at you and nodded. I've noticed. Will, you perked up hearing that. He noticed you too. You changed the subject. Asked him what he liked to see others wear. Kinda obvious why I'm asking, but okay. Hey, what kind of things do you think are nice to see on other person? Cove's eyes widened at the question, and his defensive reply seemed to slip out before he had the chance to have a proper think about it. Nothing? What do you mean, nothing? You laughed out loud, and Cove gave you a dry look. Come on, that's not what I meant. You composed yourself and sat up straighter. All trace of laughter disappeared from your face. Answering with what you do mean then. Isn't there anything at all you think looks good when you sit on someone? Cove mumbled under his breath and you couldn't quite catch the words. He was having a difficult time with the subject. Made him uncomfortable, so he let it go. He had a little fun. That was enough. You changed the subject. You're not good at this conversation, are you? I swear I won't make fun of you. I just thought it wouldn't be fun to talk about. I swear I won't make fun. That's not really it. Go seemed pretty grumpy about your statement, but you weren't ready to give up so easily. Please. Go sighed and looked down at his lap, where he was fidgeting with his hands, still reluctant to give an answer.
I don't know.
You made an impressive sound over how this was going. Are you sure? Fine, I guess. I kinda like ankle bracelets. Ankle bracelet? Why not, I guess. Yeah, everyone can wear a pretty bracelet. Wrist ones are cool too, but they're pretty normal. There's something fun or flirty about ankle flirty. Do you guys like ankle bracelets? Do you? It's more special or something. I don't know how to explain it. I want to chat, my dear soldites. What is the thing that makes you I don't know, feel things when you see someone else wear it? What do you like to see other people wear? Don't say nothing. Don't you dare say I want to see nothing. You know, don't be sassy. You sassy. You sassy. Cole brushed his knuckles against his cheek awkwardly, seemingly unsure where to go from there. I like them too. I actually do. Ankle bracelets can actually look nice. Depends on I guess the bracelet, but it can actually look nice. Listen.
What?
What? No, I can't believe you even used that word to describe it. Sorry, my bad. Sorry. Cove had been absolutely scandalized by your statement, and you could only laugh. When he said nothing else, you took a moment to gather your own thoughts. You had to get an ASAP. Maybe you wear your anklets more now. Maybe you wouldn't wear your anklets so often. You thought about buying an anklet of your own. You were happy to hear about Cove, but didn't really change anything. This one. Cove's opinion hadn't had an impact on your own thoughts on the accessory. Cove looked away again, feeling awkward about this. Gave an understanding look, and usually he would start to smile like a normal again. But not this time, his expression only stiffened more. You were surprised to see him like this, as he always bounced back pretty quickly after being flustered. Cove? Still, he wouldn't look at you. Now even his breathing was growing tense. It began to click. He was trying to build himself up enough to say something hard for him. You waited for it silently. But then finally, he peeked your way through the corner of his eyes. You were fully attentive by this point for whatever he was going to mention next.
That's,
People having black eyes, that's also something I like. Huh. Huh. I kinda want to keep my eyes open, you know? Right now, I don't wanna blink. I don't wanna blink. I'm not blinking. Huh? For a moment you were stunned and at a complete loss for words. That was definitely not where you imagined this was going. Cole faced you head on, his expression full of desperate meaning. You get the distinct impression he hadn't chosen that just because he liked the color black. He chose it entirely because he was your eye color. Was he trying to flirt with you? That was all you could think. Your legs felt like jelly, and you wondered if you might fall right off the couch. What do you like for another person, Jamie? Why did that have to be the first? Pretty hair, glasses, blue eyes, everything about you? Sheesh. You know what? I might as well be a sussy back until the end. Muscles. Cove rubbed his arm instinctively, but then stopped suddenly when he noticed what he was doing. I had to. I had to. Okay, I had to. Cove blushed a deeper shade of red, and his mouth fell open, acknowledging that you had specified him straight out. Now you're both flirting with each other. Hee hee. Is this safe for Twitch? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There are a few like DLC from Patreon that are not, but I don't have them, so the game is safe. The game is safe. Don't worry. He placed his hand in his lap and looked down. He seemed he hadn't detected. I starting to think about another type of muscle. Shit. It didn't seem he had the. Nope, it seemed he hadn't expected to get this far and didn't know where to come from here. From there. With that topic abruptly dropped off, Cove officially had no more to say on it. The parents all arrived soon after, each of them climbing onto the RV and finding some place to sit down and rest their legs. Elizabeth, having heard the commotion, came out from the room for the first time since arriving and joined you all. You spent the evening chatting and playing a few games, enjoying the last evening of the trip together. Bedtime arrived within the blink of an eye. As the group hunkered down for the night, your mom did a final round to be sure nothing had been left behind. She explained that Cliff was going to start driving early in the morning, like on the first day, but would be letting everyone else in the group sleep. There wouldn't be a need for all of them to get up. Now was the time to check you hadn't left anything outside. You, as well as everyone else, were confident you had it all packed up inside the RV, which meant it was time to get some rest before the journey home tomorrow. Your moms and Elizabeth said goodnight, heading to the back room, while you climbed up to the loft. Cove and his family got situated below in the previously set arrangement. You tried to get comfortable as a million thoughts were running through your mind. It was hard to believe that the trip was practically over, and before you knew it, you'd be back in your own bed at home. You enjoyed this mini adventure, you thought the trip had been okay, you felt the trip was a waste of time, No, it was a good trip. We got to flirt, it was a good trip. It was short, that was for sure, but you get to see and do so much during your time here. In all, it was a nice break away from home. The minutes ticked by silently. It didn't take long for the soft snores of Cliff and Kira to drift up to you. They were asleep now. You wondered if Cove was still awake and decided to poke your head out from the loft to find out. You blinked through the dark. Looking down the hall, you noticed Cove laying on his back, his eyes staring straight up at the ceiling. His seafoam hair was spread out on his sleeping bag. He must have felt you watching him, because suddenly his eyes locked on yours. It was difficult to see much in the dim light, but you couldn't make out the crooked smile on his face well enough. Let's smile back. Go shrugged in his bed while smiling, or at least he thought he did. This is so sussy. It's not sussy, it's just a wholesome moment, you know? Just a wholesome moment. Don't forget they're like 12 years old, you know? They're 12, normally. Cove shrugged in his bed. Yeah, we read that. You then gestured for him to come over. He then went back to trying to sleep. You then huffing quietly. Come over. Cove looked unsure about it, but you were happy to see him slowly start to sit up anyway. Oh, I didn't know the age. Yeah, they're basically 12 years old. Or around with it. So this is nothing is gonna happen. They're probably just like going to fall asleep side by side on the bed, you know. That's probably what's gonna happen. That's why I'm trying to go for it anyway. Cove looked unsure about it, but you were happy to see him slowly start to sit up anyway. His sleeping bag rustled as he moved, though he tried to go slow and froze up like a deer in a headlight every time he made a sound, watching his parents for any sign of movement. That is kinda cute. Eventually, he managed to maneuver around his sleeping dad and make it to the ladder, standing on the bottom rug, before he looked at you and whispered, "What?" Inviting up to a loft. "Don't come up?" His eyes widened just so. You could only tell because he had come to where you were. Cove glanced behind him quickly at his sleeping parents before turning back to you. "Okay." You broke out into a grin and scooched back as far as you could, making space for Cove to crawl in. He was very tall, so it wasn't a great fit for him, but he managed to squeeze himself in. Even if you weren't exactly tall, the loft was still a tight squeeze, with the two of you in there together.
Dang.
Dang, I'm good. I'm a good player. You laid next to each other on your side, face to face. He got under the blanket a bit. One of his arms was nestled under his head for comfort. The other had nowhere to go and was rested alongside his chest on the floor of the loft. Cove spoke to you softly. So, what am I doing here? I don't know. Why are you here? Cove raised an eyebrow, giving you a disbelief look, and you shrugged as much as the space could allow. I'm not sure about this. Cove swallowed loudly, and you noticed he wouldn't look at you in the eyes anymore. Nervous, comfortable, or happy? I feel like if I choose nervous, he's gonna go back down, and I kind of want him to fall asleep next to us. You know, he's kind of the objective here. He felt comfortable being so close to him. True, I guess. And her accent made you happy. True, too. So, what the hell do we do? I kinda wanna go fully happy. I'm gonna try that one. It was nice to know that this didn't seem like nothing to him. You wanted him to take you seriously. As though back to earlier in the evening, when you and Cove had been talking alone on the sofa, he had definitely been floating then, and now you were here. You laid there silently. You tried to ease things with conversation. You nudged closer. Ooh. You touched his arm lightly. What the hell? Listen, I'm going further closer. You inched towards Cove slowly, your legs pressing together in the very limited space. Cove's face flushed dark enough to notice even in the almost pitch black RV cabin. The hand resting in front of him tightened, balling into a fist. You okay?
Yeah.
I'm fine. I mean, I'm not dying or anything. He's cute. Cove's eyebrow bent up nervously, but his smile widened. Why are you looking at us like that? Stop looking at us like that. He followed your lead and curled himself deeper into the loft and closer to you. He looked away as he did it. There was almost no space left between he and you. Cove's breath tickled the side of your face. For a moment, you stared together like that. Neither of you spoke a word. When your eyes locked again, Cove seemed almost taken back by the situation, as though you hadn't completely hit him what was going to feel like to do this until just now. He opened his mouth to say something but shut it tight before anything came out. You went to sleep how you were, moved back, snuggled against him, leaned in to kiss him. You know, kinda. Should we go for it? Should we go for it? Should we try? You know what? Wait. Save. 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 Yes. Let's are you sure it's safe for Twitch? Yes, it is, yeah. It is. If we're 12 years old, we're not gonna do anything. And if it becomes a bit too much sussy, I'll just change screen and pretend nothing is happening. But yeah, it is safe. It is safe. You scared? Are you scared, Knight? Huh? You moved in even closer, eyes half closed as your lips inched towards his slowly. Give me a second. go. Yep. Cove froze immediately. You could feel his body trembling against you as you neared. You grow close enough to be one motion away from placing your lips together. That's what I meant. I protect? What do you mean protect? Then all at once, he bolted upright, completely forgetting the restriction of a location and smacking his head against the roof of the RV with a loud crack. Oh no! Making you gasp aloud. Ow! Cover, you okay? You dumbass. I called it earlier. Cove didn't answer. He fell back to the loft floor in a flustered pile. He pressed one hand against his head and the other his face as he groaned in pain. You said I'm scared, I'm just protecting. Oh, okay. What a shining knight. That's what you are. A shining knight. Not a night knight, a shining knight. The sound of movement in the RV below startled you, and when you looked over at the side, you noticed Cliff had similarly shot up and was looking around wildly.
What's wrong?
Okay, people, something happened. Thank you for the kind words. You're welcome. How it all went wrong. Cliff reached over to where Kira was on the couch, and she whined as he shook her out of her sleep deep enough not to be interrupted by the chaos. What's going on? That was not supposed to happen. That was not supposed to happen at all. At all.
What?
Cove, where are you? Jamie, are you? Oh. Hi. Hello. It only took a second for Kira to figure out where her son had gone, and you soon heard Cliff chuckle as he too realized. My boy's crying. Oh, bro. You were warned there wasn't much room up there, bud. Cove groaned terribly again, but this time it was out of humiliation. He moved the hand from his sore scalp to almost cover his shame, rather than face his parents.
Hey!
What's with all the noise out there? Nothing is happening. To your horror, the door at the back of the RV opened, and Elizabeth, as well as your moms, peeked their heads out onto the hall. Whoopsies. Is everything okay? Yeah.
Sorry.
It's nothing. Sorry for waking you up. Yep, nothing is happening here. Cove curled up onto himself, completely humiliated as he apologized a couple more times. Not lying enough for anyone other than you to hear, though. I'm sorry, but I laughed. You could even try to stop your chuckle from coming out. Not to make things worse, but everyone's staring at us. Cove peeked out from behind the green hair that had fallen onto his eyes and whimpered. Kira casually came over to the edge of the loft. She patted her son on the back. Come to mama, baby. You can't stay there. No, let him stay. There was no putting it off. Cove climbed down the ladder, his face still red as a tomato when he reached the bottom. That was funny. His dad gave him a nudge on the shoulder as he passed, trying to hold back renewed laughter. His mom pulled him over to give his head a quick look over. After announcing it wasn't anything more serious than a bump, Cove shuffled over to his sleep bag on the ground. He collapsed onto it, not caring as if he should be more cautious with his head right now.
Sure.
Alright, show's over. Let's all get some sleep. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing at all. You could hear the sneakers from the back of the RV from your mom's and Elizabeth. They really had been watching this unfold like it was a piece of entertainment. I would have to, I would have done the same thing. But at that, they quickly said goodnight and headed to bed. Bro, that's the kind of story that is going to tease you for like the rest of your life. With nothing more you could do, you laid back down as the lights went off again. You stayed there completely still until sleep finally overtook you. When you woke up in the next morning, it was to the rumble of the RV as it traveled the long journey home. Blinking the sleep from your eyes, you peeked over the edge of the loft slowly, trying not to be seen. I'm not here. Nothing happened last night. Nobody remembers. They just act cool like nothing happened. Cole was sitting on the couch with his mom, the two of them talking quietly together. His head was hung low. You blushed when you remembered what it was like last night, just the two of you up in the loft together, and the way you almost kissed. Kinda sad that it didn't happen, but okay. Kira suddenly looked up and caught your eye, and your face grew even harder. Though she simply smiled at you. I knew it was gonna be a long time before either of you lived this down, if you ever did. Soon your moms and Elizabeth emerged from their room, dressed and ready for the day of travel. You spent most of the day hanging out together in the RV, savoring the last few hours of vacation. Kira suggested a few different travel games she used to play with Cove when he was younger, and you all had a great time competing against each other. A little later in the day you tried to talk to Cove about what happened in the loft, but he simply apologized and changed the subject. It was a bit too much for him to try speaking on, especially right now. You understood. When the RV finally pulled onto your street, it was well into the night, and you were looking forward to crawling into your own bed after the last few days away. Everyone else must have been feeling the same, because it was mutually agreed that unpacking and cleaning the RV would wait until morning. Once home again, you went straight up to your room and dropped onto your bed, shoes and all. You were happy to be in your bed, you felt weird to be alone, it felt good to be alone, you wish you were still on the trip, you missed being near Cove. I missed being near Cove. The two of you had been living together for 3 days. It was nice, but you knew that it wouldn't be the last time the two of you would spend time together, and that thought comforted you. With those last few thoughts drifting through your mind, it wasn't long before you dozed off to sleep. Tomorrow, that would go on like normal. Yep, we didn't almost have our first kiss, Absolutely not. And then summer ended. There was no denying it. Today was the very last day of summer. Tomorrow, you were heading to class. You were excited to go back. Anxiety gnawed at your stomach. It was a bummer. You feeling were muddled. It was a bummer. Summer had been so much fun. When you thought about going back to school, it was with a sense of loss. Soon, you wouldn't be able to choose how your days were spent without the school bell telling you where to be and when. It was with a heavy heart that you chose your outfit for your final day of freedom. Life was going to be different. You had come to think of a summer vacation as the norm. But school sucked up the majority of the year, whereas the summer vacation was just a respite in the middle. So rather than being different, it was kind of a return to the normal. What did your normal life really mean? Oh no, not the existence questioning questions, you know? That did not mean anything, but you all understood what I meant. You considered how fondly your mom talked about their summer vacation as kids. You dimly recognized that one year the pattern of school and summer itself would be over for good. It was hard to imagine. You'd gotten distracted, one arm still out of a sleeve. You pulled it through and put your mind back to the present. The season had brought about plenty of changes of its own, like Kira's visit, though that too was coming to an end today. You were happy you'd finally gotten the chance to know her, getting really fond of her, you didn't really like her, your mind wasn't made up on how you felt about her, you didn't care either one way or another. Actually like his mom, you know? She's funny. So I'm happy I got the chance to know her. She was interesting to be around. You liked how easy it was to talk to her. You finished dressing, which was good. Cove would be there any moment. You'd agreed to see his mom off together. Officially, the plan was that he would come over to bring you round to his house when she was ready to set off. But you both knew that you'd be hanging out for at least a little while beforehand. Kira's visit had troubled Cove when it first happened. It had been a sudden change, thanks to Mr. Holden's infamous tendency to surprise people, but once he was able to adjust, he'd been in pretty good spirit with her around. It was a relief for everyone. The next thought that crossed your mind was, it would only be polite to get the door of Cove. You went downstairs to wait. You couldn't wait to see Cove, so you went downstairs to meet him when he arrived. Cove knew your house well enough. You could lounge in your room to wait for him. We said to be polite, so be polite. You strolled down the stairs. Someone else might have been able to answer it, but he was your guest. It was only a few minutes later when the doorbell rang, as you'd chosen to stand beside it to wait for Cove. There was no delay in pulling it open. Cove was there, just as you expected. Seeing you, he flashed you a bright grin.
Hey.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Cove. Come on in. Once he stepped out inside, you beckoned for him to follow you upstairs. Back up in your room, you sat down on your bed and waited for Cove to settle in as you knew he would. With other guests, he might have offered them a seat, but you and Cove were long past those tentative stages of friendship. Your room was as familiar to him as his own. Well, after 5 years, I hope so. You watched as Cove sat down in your desk chair, his preferred spot. He rolled it closer to the bed to make it easier to chat, tweaking the angle so that he was facing you fully. Once happy with the position, he leaned in towards you, hands held in his lap. His actions weren't the ones of someone who planned on moving from his spot anytime soon, even though you had an appointment to keep together that day. When is your mom leaving?
Don't worry about it.
We've got some time. She still got a shower and stuff before she goes. She didn't want me to just keep hanging around while she was doing that. He lifted his head, his gaze drifting out through the window and chuckled. I can't believe she's already leaving. Just when I'm getting used to her being there every day. He leaned back in the chair, a wry smile tickling his cheek. Yeah, you know, she'll be back. Time goes by so fast. He cocked his head thoughtfully before shrugging. He ran the hand through his hair before shaking his head, as if shaking off the topic like a dog, wiping off water following a dip in the sea. Silence stretched out between you. Quiet didn't survive long around you, but you held off on shaking this one. Cove's expression, from the way he began to chew his lip, to the deepening lines of worry in his face, suggested that it was a prelude to something else. He started to curl in on himself, dropping an arm across his lap. Cove was looking less and less comfortable in the space as you watched him, wondering what to do. Jamie? Cove spoke up before he had made a decision on whether or not to push him on what the matter was. There was a tremor in his voice, but you rarely heard while the two of you were in the safety of your room.
I mean,
Oh. I want to talk to you about the road trip. What happened then? Your eyes grew. At the reaction, Cove pulled his arm around his chest, his shoulders hunching inwards. You knew what he was implying, back when you'd been in the loft and nearly kissed. Cove hadn't breathed a word about it since it happened. Or well, almost happened.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for moving away like that when you tried to... He dropped the sentence. He didn't push for him to finish. It had conveyed what he needed. But I'm sorry for how I've been since, acting like it didn't even happen. I've thought about it. I mean, I haven't forgotten about it. I don't keep thinking about it all the time. He hung his red-cheeked forehead propped up by a couple of fingers. You could tell that he was already regretting how this was going.
Sorry.
Sorry for being weird, it's just I kind of thought or hoped that sometime I'd be able to do this, with me talking about everything. Everything? There's more? He nodded ever so slightly. Your face felt a lot harder than that after that. Cove brightened a little at your positive reaction, and his explanation continued. I could sort of picture how it might go, what it'd be like with you and me. But the first part, I couldn't ever imagine anything that'd come after. Now it's actually happened. We're there, it's... He took another deep breath, stuttering on the exhale.
That's,
This makes things different. Should we find a crystal ball for answers? What the hell? Things don't have to be different. That's kind of a friend zone. This is hard for me. What? What? I really don't know about this answer, so let me save. I'm gonna try this one. If I'm not pleased with it, I'll go back in time, okay? He gave you one smile. I know, I'm sorry I'm sorry I'm always bad at this. His wide eyes met yours as he looked at you, less burdened from the anxiety that had built inside him. How about do-over? You want to try again? Return his gaze, you smile reassuringly. I'm going for it again. No? Ouch! The word shot out reflexively. He couldn't help it but immediately cringed at himself. Do you really mean that? No. I mean, I do want to. I want to try again if you still want to. Let's do it again. I'm doing it again. I don't care. You untangled yourself from your resting position and stood up. Realizing your intent to actually go for it, Cove straightened up in the chair, his hand coiled together in his lap. As you moved towards him, you noticed his knee knocking together as he trembled. His decision not to rise from the chair made perfect sense. If he was that shaky while sitting down, there was no way he'd manage to stand without at least one of you falling over. Like in a movie. Your legs brushed against his quivering ones as you came to stop in front of him. Cove was staring up at you. As you leaned in towards him, he echoed the motion and drew in towards you. Once you were close enough to feel Cove's breath on your face, you closed your eyes. The last thing you saw was Cove quickly doing the same. Nice! Nice! Your lips met with Cove's for a moment. His lips were pressed tightly together, unyielding, but it was alright. You were kissing him, and he was kissing you. Your stomach somersaulted. You couldn't believe it was really happening. In that moment, it felt warm, and it felt nice, and it felt right. You drew back, and Cove slipped down onto the chair. The knuckles of his hands pale after gripping so tightly. He's cute. His reaction is so cute, though. Thinking that he could do with some space to breathe, figuratively and literally, he took a step back. Cove shot up, his stance rigid. What is this reaction? Cove plastered a hand over his mouth, his eyes shut tight. His back then became bowed, shrinking him down. You could only just make out the few words he managed to summon.
Oh my god, oh my god.
He's so cute. I can't believe we actually... His eyes flew wide open, but he didn't look away, let alone meet your
Oh
gaze.
my god.
We kissed. We were full of nerds. His reaction was really cute. You thought his sister was funny. It worried you that he was so frantic. It's funny. He wouldn't appreciate your laughter now of all times if he heard it. You pressed a fist to your mouth and tried to stifle it. Gov only slammed his eyes closed once again. Did you like it? Was that bad? It was nice, wasn't it? Go, it's okay. Did I do something wrong? Did you like it? The worst question, but let's go for it. He was still holding the hand to his face, but in an attempt to answer, he emitted a muffled whisper. With that obviously not working, he uncovered his face at last, bringing the hand to lay against his chest and looked at you. Yeah. He opened his mouth, poised to speak, and pursued his lips, as words failed him. On his third or fourth attempt, you heard what he had to say. I did like it. I'm glad that we, He swallowed, seemingly not able to speak the actual word. That we kissed? Cove ducked his head but nodded. You got the impression that he was grateful that you'd finished the thought. But your direct words had pierced his... Achilles, maybe? I don't remember how to say that word. I don't remember. Achilles, maybe? Heel, anyway. You grinned, thrilled that the experience had been a welcome one. The smile on Cove's face was real but wary, not unlike the one he wore after a long and exhausting day of activity. Like when he'd make a new personal best. The work had been hard, but the reward had been worth it. With some newfound confidence, he drew himself up as he inhaled deeply. Each word he spoke next was delicate.
Jamie.
Oh, come on, they could have made the person say the whole sentence. Come on. It would have been nice to hear with his voice, Jamie, I like you. A lot. Probably way too much. He ducked his head bashfully and opened an eye, peeping at you through the hair that had fallen over his face like a veil. He'd managed a smile.
Thanks for waiting for me.
Thanks for waiting for me. His eyes sparkled just looking at you, his affection transparently clear. He could never hide what he was feeling, and you couldn't be more grateful for that today. Smile at him, yes. Hug, yes. I like you too, yes. Breathe a sigh of relief. Maybe inside. Like you even more? No. I mean, yes, but no. I'm not saying that. No, please. I want to try the hug. I'm trying the hug. I feel like he is going to be blushing all cute again, and I'm sorry, but I'm the annoying type of guy. If you start being all blushy and cute in front of me, I will make it worse. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm that type, I belong in Horny jail for a reason. You closed the already short distance between you and Cove and wrapped your arms around him. He looked down to meet your eyes and giggled nervously. He did his best to wind his arm around you in return. In return, it was a little awkward, but even with the benefit of hindsight, you wouldn't have changed a thing. The strength of your feeling had demanded immediate action. It felt so nice to hold each other that way, now that everything was out in the open. Finally, you separated again. You rubbed his eyes with the heel of his hand. I would be tomato red IRL? Really? You would be a tomato red? That's kind of bad for you because I would make it worse. I would push on the button, you know. I would be like, "Oh, so you're tomato. Let's make it worse, you know. Let's make you wanna hide." He rubbed his eyes with the heel of his hand. With that action usually reserved for much later in the day, but at this point it already felt like a long day. Cove pinned a hand to his creased forehead.
Oh my god.
Does this mean I'm your boyfriend or something now? Should we tell our parents? I don't know what dad or mom would do. There were a lot of concern in there. You honed in on the simplest. There was no way your moms would let you have a boyfriend, even though what word juxtaposed what Cove's name made your heart race. My parents won't let me have a boyfriend, or even something. I wish we were older, it's okay. It doesn't matter though, we like each other, what's so important? It's okay. Your mom had good reasons for their rules. I didn't mind waiting, not for Cove. Cove lifted his hand from his chest and reached towards you, halting halfway and slowly, cautiously hooked his fingers around yours. His palm pressed against the back of your hand. You let him hold his hand. You held his hand back. Let's hold his hand back, you know? I feel like this is kind of like yes but no. And this is yes but yes. So I'm going for the yes but yes. You rotated your hand so that you were palm to palm with Cove. Your thumb crossing one another. You can't get it to work. Let's figure things out sooner or later. Building a relationship. You're right, no matter what, it's okay in the end when it's the two of us. Your forthright statement made Cove gasp, but the smile that followed and his tight grip on your hand told you that he had appreciated it. Jamie, Cove. Hi mom, I'm not holding hand, okay? You don't see a thing. A sudden call from downstairs caught you both unaware. You'd nearly forgotten the world outside your room. From the guilty look on his face, Cove had done the same. Just had a call. Cove's mom is ready to go. If you quit, she might keep the mandated motherly smothering to a minimum. You doubted that, but it was nice that Mom and Miss Priest had their strange sense of humor in common. Your eyes met Cove's. Wordlessly, you headed downstairs together. I'm kind of waiting for this to stop so we can have a break. Each step on the way was painfully slow, like he was trying to delay the inevitable. His whole body tensed leaving the house, and Cove froze altogether before you both could cross the street.
Oh.
The door was open. Dad must be taking her stuff out. He swallowed hard. She's really gonna leave. You smiled at him rationally. You gave him his back a pat, resting a hand on his arm. This isn't the last time you'll ever see her. I know. But I get used to having her here. Yeah. It was hard to think of a world where you didn't have both of your moms living at home with you. So you couldn't even imagine how hurt Cove must have been feeling knowing his mom was leaving. You thought you saw his bottom lip quiver just before he turned his head away from you. We don't have to head over if you don't want to. No, it'll be worse if I miss her leaving. Okay. At that, some of the conflict wearing on his face eased a bit. Together, you went across the street and inside his house, finding his parents in the living room, surrounded by his mom's packed things. Hey kids! Good timing. I just called the taxi.
Hi.
And hi, Jamie. So glad I get to see you today. It was fabulous getting to know you this summer. Look at his face. Look at his face. I finally got to put a face to a name I've heard so many times. She winked and Cove pouted on cue over the teasing. Bye. Bye, the worst answer. Okay, bye. Hopefully it won't be too long before we see each other again. Nodding, Kira turned her attention back to her boy. She patted Cliff on the arm with a warm smile, and then she enveloped Cove in a crushing hug. Initially, Cove screamed to break free from her grip, but his mom was unfazed and kept him locked in place. Heartbeats later, he gave in and hugged her back tightly.
I'm so glad.
And I'm so happy this trip was a success. We don't remember the whole hitting the ceiling moment, you know? We don't remember it, we forgot. Cliff looked like he was bursting with pride. And then Cove stiffened. Kira loosened her hold on him enough to study his face, concerned. She spoke her next word in a whisper that had been meant just for her son.
What do you think?
Do you want to unshelve it? Raised an eyebrow, Cliff watched them carefully. His smile began to falter.
What's wrong?
What's wrong? Cove's gaze moved to the floor. He looked like he was grappling with where to begin, but then Cliff smacked a hand on his own cheek. The nurse caught everyone's attention. Cliff's eyes were wide, and you could clearly see the lightbulb moment he was experiencing on his face. It shouldn't have been a surprise. I went behind your back again. Yeah. And it only took me until the very last moment to realize it. Crossing his arm, Cliff laughed at himself. You could tell he was out of frustration and disbelief, rather than the usual good-natured feelings. I'm so sorry. I thought I had gotten better at this. You have? Yeah, get that a little bit. And at least you didn't try to use money this time, you know. Cole's voice was small, but it was enough to break through his dad's thoughts. Cliff's mouth pulled into a small smile.
It's okay.
It's been a long time since something like this happened. Not long enough. It deserves better than a blockhead falling back into old habits just because things seems to be going good.
I'm trying.
It won't keep happening. I promise I'll work on it. We all can work on it. I can try harder myself to be in a loop on what's actually happening over here. A happy smile quickly spread across Cove's face, and he answered delicately, "Okay." He felt relieved seeing how much the whole family had grown together since you first met them. They could talk to each other more easily. After that, it wasn't long before the taxi arrived, rolling up in front of the house and in clear view of the open door. Kira stood up, smiling sadly. Well, that's my ride. Yeah. The mashing reply got a chuckle out of Kira as you all filed out of the house. Father and son went with Kira's bag in hand. Once outside, you spotted your family waiting by the street, and to your surprise, Derek was also with them. He stood uncomfortably and he waved as soon as you noticed him.
What's up?
Hey Jimmy, hi Cove. When did you get here? My dad dropped me off just a little bit ago. Thought I could visit once more before school started.
Sorry.
You picked a busy time, sorry. Derek couldn't even look at Cove. He nervously kept rolling a pebble with the bottom of his shoe.
Sorry.
I wasn't thinking that your mom would be leaving today. I'm sorry, dude. What? You're not interrupting anything. You're always welcome here. It would have been sad if I didn't get to say goodbye before leaving. Derek came to hang out often, so it was inevitable that the two had met at some point this season. I think so too. It was apparent Derek would have preferred to have gotten there at a more opportune moment. He never liked seeming impolite, but their reassuring words soothed his worries. The tension he was holding in his body lessened, and he looked like he was feeling much more like himself. Bye, Derek. Was fun getting to know you. Bye, ma'am. Is there anything I can do to help? Nah, don't worry yourself over that. We're just about to set. In that short amount of time, Cliff had gathered and packed the bags into the truck. Kira took one last look at everyone and sighed. Alright, I don't want to keep the driver waiting. It's time to head out. The little crowd that had formed around started their chorus of farewells and well wishes traveling, but Kira still made no move to get into the taxi. She placed her attention on Cove. I'll call when I get to the airport, and when I make it to Nevada. Also, you better call the moment you walk in the door at home. Otherwise, we'll be wondering all night if you got in trouble on the way there.
Can do.
I can do that. And could you call tomorrow too, so I can tell you how school went? Of course. I want to hear all about it. Kira put a hand on Kobe's head and affectionately ruffled his hair one last time. She then let go, only to move on to squeezing his cheek with her hands instead. Mom!
Cove.
I love you so much, baby. My little baby. He was chuckling by the time she freed him and rounding things off with a small tap to the tip of his nose. Cove rubbed at his face with a grin. Finally, she walked to the car while waving and took her seat in the taxi. Cliff hooked an arm around Cove's shoulder and kept him close as it began to pull away. For a moment, Cove looked up at his dad and then wrapped an arm across his back.
Bye.
Bye, Mom. Bye. Travel safe. Kira rolled down the window and took her head out of it. She waved again while blowing a kiss at Cove and Cliff. See you again. Before she was out of sight, you decided to call out with your family and hers. Wave goodbye. Wave goodbye. As the taxi headed down the road, you stuck your hand in the air to send her off. The cab turned down another road and completely disappeared from view. Cove let go his dad and took a few steps out into the empty street, still looking the direction his mom went. He smiled quietly, deep in thought. You got the impression Cove was feeling better than he was earlier. He was finally content with the way things were. You jumped a bit when your mom put her hand on your shoulder, pulling you away from your thoughts. She smiled when you looked at her. This was a great vacation, huh? Well, I got a boyfriend, so, you know, kinda cool. Yeah, I don't think so. You're not in agreement, you shrugged, I don't know. Summer isn't over till the second I fall asleep. Even though I like the answer, I can't just want to answer yeah. Like, yeah, it was a great summer, you know? But that's what I was hoping to hear. Cove walked back over to the group, still genuinely happy. Derek grinned at him welcomingly, and everyone else there smiled at him, even Elizabeth.
Well?
Well, Mag clapped her hands together, bringing everyone's attention back to the present. It's almost lunchtime. I think I'll put something special together. Her eyes sparkled with a plan as Mom smiled. I bet you could use some help with that. That would be absolutely wonderful. Derek glanced between the two, his eyebrows furrowed. Is there something I could do? Your mom's exchanged a fun expression. Ma shook her head.
How sweet.
That's very sweet, Derek, but it's alright. It's not your job. Technically, your dad left you under Cliff's watch. You're meant to be taking care of him, not doing chore for the neighbors. Mom laughed a little over her own joke. You watched Derek look away, discouraged.
It's okay.
It's okay, I don't mind. He was a little bashful about it. He wondered if Mom's joke had just reminded him that he wasn't initially meant to be invited to lunch. It was getting a little awkward. Mom grinned sympathetically. Her comment was meant to lighten the mood, not bring it down. Ma tried again to get things moving forward. Why don't you kids go have fun? You all can come back in about an hour. We make enough for everyone. Mom nodded in agreement.
Sounds good.
Another stunning idea, Lani. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That sounds like a plan, Van. I don't want to cramp your style. I've got some stuff to work on, so I can get out of your hair this afternoon. Blah blah. You should try. Nope, still not. You should come by later too. No reason you should be the odd man out. Can you stop with all the talking? I need a tea. And to pee, please. Let me go. Mom seemed amused as Cliff rubbed his neck nervously. He grinned a wavering but pleased smile.
Thanks very much.
I appreciate the invite. He looked over the assembled crowd with knowing glances. I can help too, with as many people as you're feeding. That's going to be a lot of food. Didn't you hear what we told Derek? It wouldn't be fair to make you cook when we're the ones who are inviting you in. Ma raised an eyebrow when Cliff waved it off.
Come on.
I insist. Derek would be missing time with his pals. This would be a break for me. I'm quite the chef. Ma and Mom exchanged forward glances before Mom shrugged.
True.
An airtight argument. If you're sure, we'll be happy to have you, Chief Cliff. Mr. Clifford. Clifford's grin widened and seemed more hyped than you expect him to be about helping with lunch. Cove shook his head and found a smile on his face. When all of us grown-up people will be heading inside, I assume the rest of you kiddos are staying out. Maybe not all of them. Ma tilted her head, a sudden question for Elizabeth. Your sister thought for a moment.
Alright.
I'll stay with the kids. Why do I gotta be called a kid?
That's fantastic.
That's great. Both your moms smiled at her, while Derek and Cove didn't seem to appreciate her phrasing. Yep, me neither. But the plan decided, all three parents waved and headed for your house. It was just you teenagers now. Elizabeth looked at you and the others, a curious expression on her face. So, what now? Now we bury you alive. You silently wondered if Elizabeth only stayed out with you to avoid getting robbed into work. But again, she could just genuinely want to hang out. You couldn't tell with your sister. Go spoke up with no one else after no one else did to answer Elizabeth's question. Wanna go down to the shopping street? It's been a while. Oh, whoops. Whoops.
So,
It's been a while. I don't think there's a lot of other things we could agree on. Yeah, sure.
awesome.
Sounds awesome to me. Unlike you guys, I haven't been there 1,001 times. It's new to me. Let's do it. You stroll across the road as a group, down to the beach and then to the left. It took less than 15 minutes to arrive, one of the convenience of Sunset Bird. The four of you looked around at the familiar shops, trying to see if anything caught your attention this time. Derek was the most enthusiastic. He checked out every stall with his eyes wide with wonder. Elizabeth and Cove were in a good spirit as well. That's so cool! He ran over to a street magician who was currently doing a card trip for a group of enchanted tourists. Derek clapped when the magician showed a middle-aged man his card. Derek turned back to the group with a curious gleam on his face. What does it take to perform here anyway? Do you have to ask somebody, or do you just show up and start doing stuff? Who would you even ask? It's pretty street. Hey, Mr. Mayor, can I pull a rabbit out of my hat, please? Flopsy is well behaved, I promise. It's time for me to go to sleep. Okay, have a good sleep night. Have a wonderful sleep. Thank you for being here again today. I hope that you can rest from your trip. Rest. You must be probably tired. Thank you for stream as always. Thank you for being here, my wonderful mod. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Merci beaucoup. Merci à toi. Derek chuckled, his eyes searching up and down the scene.
Maybe?
Maybe there's a boss of a shopping street. No one does any of this around my neighborhood. It's just a regular store behind walls. It's different if someone wants a real store. But here I'm pretty sure people are just putting on their little show whenever they want and do whatever. That's so neat. Would we be allowed to do something too? Cove laughed and Derek began almost verbatim with excitement. Elizabeth rolled her eyes. What would we do? Well, I don't know what. Not yet, I mean, just find out it's a possibility, you know? But there's gotta be something. We know cool stuff. I'm sure if we think about it. We can plan a show that really get a crowd pumped. You thought it was a great idea, wanted to be part of it. You felt he could try this idea on his own. He gave a look to the other two. What are we doing? I'm kinda like, you do it and I'll watch. Derek continued to brainstorm out loud about different potential performances, while you glanced over at Cove and Elizabeth. I mean, I can bounce the soccer ball on my head. Last time I tried, I got 8 bounce before it fell. It wouldn't bring a ball here. Why not? Cove gestured to everything around, the store, the people, all the colorful chaos that made up the shopping street. Would you want to chase a lost ball here? And what if it hits somebody? Even if you're good, someone else could bump into you. That's true. Derek thought about it some more. Then he watched another performer, a one doing tricks with 2 small dogs. One was fluffy and cream colored, while the other was cool gray. The woman held up rings. Both animals jumped through the opening, happy to receive a treat at the end. Derek brightened. Maybe I'll teach crabs how to race. Crabs. It could work. With some amusement, the gang continued to peruse the stalls. Elizabeth found some earrings with a dangling, badly misprinted globe that everyone laughed at. Cove picked out a blob as Iceland, but Derek thought it had to be Greenland. You know, but this is a world with what looks like 9 continents. I think you're both wrong. I'm staying out of it. Suddenly, Cove froze. You stared at him and then tried to see what caught his attention. When you saw a familiar face down the way, it all made sense. Between the crowds, his bright hair stood out like a neon green ball in the kitchen sink. Not him. Jeremy slowly drifted his eyes down the street and his eyes widened in mutual recognition. He definitely noticed you. Derek frowned and Cove sighed. Neither of them were happy to see him again. You stood there shocked. You glanced at Jeremy, you waved at Jeremy, you decided to smile at Jeremy, you looked away. You look away. Just move on from it, you know, and just pass next to each other and just ignore each other. You don't want to start with Jeremy's shenanigans again today. Elizabeth raised an eyebrow. Her gaze stepped over to Jeremy without a hint of a clue. Jeremy simply scoffed to himself and waded deeper into the crowd of people. Derek relaxed and exhaled loudly. I'm glad he's not gonna start anything. He peeked over at Elizabeth with a tiny smirk. See? That was the main kid.
What?
Huh? She still didn't get it. That first summer day hadn't made nearly as much of an impression on her as it did for Derek. But he smiled and waved it off. Just forget about him. I already have. He laughed and Cove smiled lightly. He seemed in a much better mood now that Jeremy was gone. Your eyes wandered over to where Jeremy disappeared. You hadn't forgotten the day you met him either. He was only going to be in town for vacation with the parents he hated. That glimpse was probably the last time you would ever see him. Mention that realization to everyone. Keep the thought to yourself. Elizabeth snapped her fingers in front of your face. Apparently you had spaced out. Cove and Derek was already at the next stall. Come on, unless you want to get left here. You nodded and caught up with the others. Cove raised an eyebrow. What were you thinking about? Nothing. Gave him a searching look, but let it drop when Derek yelled at you to go check something out. You couldn't help but wonder though, what would have happened if you would have interacted with Jeremy more? You were glad that you wouldn't find out. Jeremy was unlike anyone you had ever met before. You thought it was horrible, it was weird, it was stupid, it was kind of pitiful. You thought it was kind of okay, you don't know what to think about him. I'm sorry, but he's kind of pitiful. I'm sorry, but yes. You and the group moved on from the stall and from Jeremy. It didn't take long for everyone to return to the joking. You all had enjoyed what little time you had left as Elizabeth mentioned the hour was almost up. The little trip had flown by, and lunch must have been waiting for you now. Derek bounced on the balls of his feet.
Okay.
Come on guys, let's get going so we can eat. I'm starving. Can't wait. I'm hungry. Cove stretched one of his arms lazily. Let's go then. You looked at him appraisingly. You asked Cove to carry you back to the house. Kinda. Hey Cove. Yeah? Could you carry me back home?
What?
What? Cove turned red, obviously flustered. You know what? When you like play a game or see a movie and they're like, I want a piggyback ride, or could you like give me a piggyback ride until home, and then the other person is like, what? And then we just like let it go and walk off, all smiling. It's kind of like the funny moment when kind of like that person just kind of pogged, you know. I don't know, kind of pogged. I don't know. You didn't want to push him. Just forget about it. Sure? Then you followed Elizabeth as she took it upon herself to lead the way home. She walked first, much faster than Derek preferred. She kept gaining a lead, and then Derek would jog back up to the group. With Cove's long legs, he had no trouble keeping up. Let's walk with Cove. You kept closer to your neighbor. You both chatted about things you'd seen at the shopping street, with Derek chiming in every so often. You got Cove smiling at you a couple times. He was happy you were spending time with him. It was a pleasant walk home, and in no time you had made it back. Derek got the front door and held it open for everyone as you each moseyed inside. The three parents were still in the kitchen. They looked up and waved. Welcome back everyone. We made it just in time.
Hey.
Hope you're hungry. So, did everyone have a nice time out? She gestured for people to take a seat at the table. Plates and silverwares have already been placed out. You took your normal seat. Elizabeth sat across from you, and Derek took the seat to your left. Cove sat on your right. but he blushed a little and began fidgeting with his silverware. His dad was the first to pick up from on his extra awkwardness, but your moms weren't far behind. The parents shared a look at Cove's reaction. It seemed he was struggling with how to act normal around his dad or your parents, or both, after what happened between the two of you upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had a great time. It was fine. I had fun. I really liked it. It was okay, I guess. Yeah, the bank case went off without a hitch. The joke got some chuckle going around the table. That's good in my book. Casually, Mr. Oden sat in an empty seat across from Cove. He smiled at you and all the other kids. Mom set down a platter full of water glasses on the table. She looked down at the gathering. It's a good thing we have 8 chairs. I can't remember the last time we've had a group this big over for a meal. Can you pass the drinks down to the other side? Make sure you all get one. Troy was close to the cups obliged and started offering waters around. As you passed Cove his drink, his hand touched Cove's furrows. Can you be more obvious? At this point, just say it. Just say thanks, boyfriend. Just say it. You had already let go, not yet realizing that he was too distracted to function at the moment. The glass fell down to the table, landing in a sharp clatter of glass on wood. Cove scooted his chair back with a restrained shout.
Sorry.
So I should get a towel or something. He looked around with a frantic panic, as if an object to soak up with water would magically appear if he turned his head fast enough. His dad bit his lip in worry, rising from his own seat.
Well.
Cove, what's going on? You've been a little out of it today. Did something happen? Cove tense, frozen again. He stared at the water and the tabletop, as if he wanted to sink into it. You spoke up to cover Cove. You blanked on anything that could be said. You admitted that what happened between the two of you, they had to find out sometimes. Let's spoke up, If something did happen, you should wait for Cove to want to talk about it. Try to make him say something in front of everybody wouldn't be good. Wow, I kinda went in strong. Dang. Mr. Holden nodded slowly. He still seemed worried, but after another look at Cove, he smiled sympathetically.
Right.
Well said, Jamie. I'm here when you're ready, son.
Of course.
Of course. Cove breathed a sigh of release and shot you an apologetic look. You shot him a covert thumbs up. As everything got set up, Mike chipped, I don't know, Elizabeth to take her elbow off the table.
Now.
And you shouldn't slouch. She pointed to Mr. Holden, who was leaning forward with both arms on the table. Oops. Oopsies. Mr. Holden seemed unsure about all that sudden tension and carefully rearranged his posture to something suitable for a fancy dinner. He smiled sheepishly at Ma. Elizabeth rolled her eyes and Ma gave a level look at her. You shouldn't be impolite to a guest in the house either. Elizabeth groaned, long suffering. Ma giggled and Mr. Holden chuckled.
Not bad.
A lot of you could learn a thing or two from Derek. He has the best manner here. Derek blushed, but it was true. His posture was upright and formal. He even held his fork gracefully. His stable manners, on top of all his attempt to aid your parents, made him the model of meal attendee behavior.
Aw.
It's nothing. It's true though. You have been a lovely guest. I've noticed that too. It's always nice when you stay over, Derek. Derek smiled and sat a little taller on his chair. Do you have anything good to say about our other guest? She looked deliberately at Cove with a teasing smirk. Or is there just nothing to say? Well, Cove is my number one, but he does still clean his hand by wiping them off on his pant. Cove frowned at that and absent-mindedly brushed his hand on his pant legs? Okay. Your mom's laughed lightly.
There.
Elizabeth, you should know after all these years. Cove's hardly guessed anymore. Cove smiled awkwardly. Thanks. Manners. What? Who cares? I don't think it's a big deal. It takes Cove for his bad habit, committing Derek and his politeness. Food. Food, I'm hungry. The parents had made an excellent lunch. We took another bite and minded your business. Everyone ate their meal together and continued to hang out for the afternoon. After the food, you and the others played a couple games and talked about plans for the upcoming year. The time passed by quickly, and soon it was time to part ways. Mr. Holden talked to your moms, and Cove drifted over to you, knowing that as soon as his dad finished up, he would be leaving. It would be cool to stay, but we have some stuff to do before everything closes today.
Okay.
Yeah, bye. Could you move? I need the phone. What the hell is this? Cove raised an eyebrow, and Elizabeth impatiently gestured him. Cove realized he was standing right in front of where the receiver was placed. He sidestepped out of the way and shook his head, clearly thinking Elizabeth was rushing too much. Your sister made a beeline for the phone and started dialing the number of what you figured was one of her friends. Knowing Elizabeth, she was going to be on there for a while. You, Cove, and Derek shuffled closer to the door. It seemed like Mr. Holden was wrapping up his conversation, so everyone started saying their various farewells.
Talk to you later.
See you later, Cove. We gotta do this again sometimes. Yeah, see you. Cove turned to you and smiled slightly. Bye, Jamie. Let's be discreet, let's be You accompanied the show with a smile on your face. Cove waved back with a warm look on his eyes. I see you soon, okay?
Dude.
Seriously, dude. We have to hang out later. I'm gonna miss you during school. He offered Cove a high five, and the boys clapped their hands together. Cove and his dad left soon after that. Your parents started cleaning up the house, and Elizabeth was still chatting to her friends on the phone. It was just you and Derek left. He elected to stay outside in front of your house to wait for his dad to pick him up. Decided to keep your guest company, although he was originally Cove's visitor. A light summer breeze flew through your hair, and Derek shifted his weight from foot to foot. Thanks for waiting for me. He kicked at the ground, distractedly.
Well,
That's still gonna be a while, so do you wanna go for a walk? Sure, I don't mind. The two of you walked down the street again, just wondering without the destination planned. It was a quiet stroll, too quiet for Derek, being the company. You turned to him when you had noticed that he wasn't saying a word. That was unusual. Derek always had something he could chat about. You weren't sure if you should ask about it. Somehow, you ended up at the old park near the beach. You glanced over to Derek once more, still expecting him to say something any second now. However, nothing came from him. In fact, now you notice a frown creeping on his face. Derek smiled when he realized you were watching. At least, his mouth was turned up. There wasn't anything that really felt happy in the expression. He turned away and the smile fell off his face. His eyes stared intently at the ground and he raised an eyebrow. What's going on? I'm a little sad. It's just, with school starting back again, it's gonna be hard to visit. I'm gonna have homework and clubs and practices and everything else.
this sucks.
It really sucks. We go to different schools. His face screwed up and his fists were closed tightly together. This was really concerning him. What if we don't have time? Let's be positive, We make time. We can talk over the phone and have planned for weekends. It'll be okay. Derek looked up at the sky. It was arranged in purple with little wisps of cloud scattering around. A plane flew high with a jet stream trailing behind him. behind it. Then he turned to the ground again. Derek's face was tilted far enough down that it was hard to read his expression. Hey Jimmy, I actually wanted to talk to you about something, if you don't mind. There was a pause if you waited for him to finish his thought.
Sorry.
I was just kind of wondering, do you like guys at all? Like, would you ever want to be with someone who was a boy? Sorry if that's weird to ask. I could be with a guy. Okay, then. He hesitated before finishing his question. So, what I mean is, just is there any guy you think is kind of cool that you like around here? Not at school or anything like that. You're being obvious. He ducked his head further. You already knew the answer. You had confronted that very topic this afternoon. Well, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Dirk chuckled and didn't look at all surprised. Yeah, I kind of thought so. That's cool. I really hope things work out. Thanks for answering my random question. He shot up a thumbs up. I hope you will always be friends, no matter what. Even if you don't see each other for a long time, or if you get really busy, I still hope. He carried himself off and met your eyes. There was something serious to him. She's suddenly worried that you'd fall out of friendship. Derek smiled, mostly to himself. He seemed a little more like the usual. Then for sure, we have to make the most of next year. Then the year after that, and the year after that. He rumbled on for a while about things. Just make the most of every year. Right. You smiled and felt like your friendship was still strong. You didn't spend much longer at the park after that. Derek didn't want to meet his dad, so you both made your way back to the street. After Derek went back home, you decided to settle in for the night. Stretching your arm over your head, you noticed that the living room and the phone were free. You took it easy. You calmly took it easy. You flopped onto the couch and wiggled until you were positioned just right, and you knew when it was perfect, because all the exhaustion from the day started fading away. Sighing contently, you were pleased with this end of the day. Looking at the clock on the wall, you saw that it was only about 10 minutes until your mom's would be insisting you had to go to bed, so you could be rested enough for school. You stretched your legs out on the couch and sighed in defeat, watching the minute hand change a minute closer to bedtime. You rearranged yourself, feeling restless, and looked out the window. Startled initially, you spotted a figure out in the hills. It was Cove. Well, the surprise faded. You realized it really wasn't that much of a shock at all. It was actually something Cove would do. When I was outside to meet with him, strolling casually went over to the front door. When you arrived, you noticed how many fireflies were out that night. They drifted along lazily, barely minding your presence as you waded through to reach the top of the hill. Cove turned towards you, and as you approached, and you noticed right away that Cove looked happy to see you. Hey. You had a bounce in your step. You weren't sure how long you'd get before your mom's roped you back inside for bed. Hey, what are you doing out here?
Nothing.
Nothing, not really. He shrugged, something seeming unhappy with his own answer. You stared at him, waiting for him to continue. Well, I guess I was feeling kind of weird about stuff, so I'm getting some fresh air before bed. Hope you feel better. His mouth pulled into a bent smile. He spoke so quietly that you almost missed it. I think I will. Oh sheesh, that was... okay. That was actually a good answer. Cove let himself fall back into his butt and then all the way down, So he was laying on his back. He looked up at the sky. You let yourself, you sat in the grass, you stood there, you sat on his chest. What the heck? You sat in the grass. You lowered yourself to sit nearby. He had been lost in thought and was possibly waiting for you to situate yourself. But he started speaking unprompted again. Thanks for telling me about my dad. And the money he offered you to be my friend. What? That was random. It was practically the last thing you were expecting out of him. Cove seemed to pick up on that. He stretched his arm wide in front of him.
I mean,
This is why we met, remember? It happened that day. You could recall the sad little boy with a pink cast who you found in this very spot. You felt like a lifetime ago. It felt like a lifetime ago. I kind of have a strange feeling looking at you. Not in a bad way, just thinking about you then and really seeing you now. It's something. He turned his face away from you. You get the impression he was trying to hide the blush. It was almost unbelievable how much of an impact he made on your life just by moving in next door. You couldn't even imagine what your days might have looked like in a world where you hadn't met him. Cove glanced back at you, waiting for a response, and you had no idea what to say. Then, still without a word from you, Cove shook his head strongly. What? It's you, huh? You snickered before answering. He looked thoroughly amused with your reaction. That's what you do all the time, so I'm being you. Huh? Let's be surprised he noticed it. There was no response to that you could give. But you noticed Cole smiling softly at you. He wasn't trying to be mean with it. Honestly, there weren't many people you could think of who could tease you about something like that. Returning his smile, he realized that there was no dying that you two have been around each other for a long time. Cole broke the quiet before it could fully settle.
see you tomorrow.
Hey, I see you tomorrow. Yeah, see you then. With a final wave, Cove heading for home. But you stayed there for a few minutes longer. Your mind kept going back to his simple statement, see you tomorrow. No matter how much was changing around you, there were some things in your life that always seemed to remain true. The hills felt warm to you that night. Before you knew it, you were getting comfortable under the cover in your room. Your mind couldn't help but still be buzzing with thoughts about the future. It was hard not to think about Cove. There hadn't been enough time to really figure it all out after what happened between you. You felt excited, nervous, unsure. Excited. There was little doubt in your mind that things were moving forward, and you couldn't wait to find out what changes were waiting for you on the horizon. Slowly, your eyes grew heavy as you drifted off to sleep, your mind spinning with wishful thoughts. No matter what happened next, you could only hope that you would make the most of it. You were ensnared in a dream with a noise from the outside world just told you. Your eyes snapped open. The light clatter continued. Now that you were more alert, you could distinguish it as a tapping sound, quiet, slow, but persistent. Each beat was like being poked. You couldn't ignore it. You lifted your head from the pillow and looked for the source. Not much work was needed to puzzle it out. It was from the window. With that, you knew exactly what it was. From the color of the light filtering into your room, it was too early for anyone to be awake, including the sun. It had barely oiled itself over the horizon. But that didn't stop some people, it seemed. You sat up in the bed and opened the window wide. Cool air, not yet warmed by the day, tickled your face as it pushed into your room. And just as you expected, there was your neighbor crouching on your windowsill. He was fully dressed, though not for school. He was wearing a wetsuit and a shy smile.
Jamie.
Hey, Jimmy. You stared back, blinking. So technically, we won't be back to school for a few more hours. His voice was delicate yet deliberate. Each word was careful explanation. Classes haven't actually started yet, so do you want to hit the beach with me one more time with Summer? Decisive nod. I like that. I like that. Cove chuckled. What? Conspiratorially? And returned the nod. You rushed to get changed into something suitable while Cove climbed back down to ground level. Your limbs, still half asleep, struggled somewhat as you attempted to coordinate them into a swimsuit. But you got there in the end. Soon you were tiptoeing out of your front door, clutching a towel. Cove was already there to greet you. Your eyes met. Cove's gaze darted to your destination and back to you. You checked the door was closed, gave him a thumbs up, and the two of you leaped into action. Wordlessly, you began to run down the familiar path ahead, Cove beside you. The thrill of your illicit outing made you want to laugh. Not that you dared. If anyone in your family looked out and saw you, then summer would be back to being over. One glance at Cove told you that he was exactly the same, holding back snickers for fear of being hurt or caught. The towel steamed out from under your arm like a cape. You were running so fast downhill that simply keeping your balance and not tumbling down was a real threat. It was just enough of one to make you slow your pace. But it just wasn't enough of one to make you slow your okay. For every step you took, the beach was a little closer and the day a little brighter. What lay ahead for you arrived, and you were happy to meet it. Oh damn. In between. Here back I'm not gonna. Yeah. Rosy cheek? No. Acne? No. Hand size, glasses, earring, lips. Hand size, medium, okay. Clothing, pants, shirt, bracelet, necklace. Watch his hat. A fourth one now? Ring? Jewels, pattern, plain, none. Plain, none. None. Headscarf. Black, brown, beige, cream, gold, orange, red, pink, purple, blue, green, grey, white, black. Oh, I see. Male length, short, name color plain, nose ring. Oh, okay. None. Done. Okay, save. Let's save here. So relaxed still. I feel like I want to move to love now. I feel like it's only like normal to move to that, you know. I feel like it's only normal after the whole kiss and the whole boyfriend now, you know. And yeah, let's be relaxed. Okay, I kind of want to see his appearance, like the choices. Oh wow. One, two, three. Okay. Earrings. I kind of like his earring, to be honest. Let's put it back to none for now. Shirt. Oh. Oh. I like that. I like that. Pant. Oh. The white one, though, kind of looks good. And that one, too. I'm leaving that one. Wrist. Oh, that looks nice. None. Right wrist free. Okay. Necklace. Necklace one. Okay. I am totally changing his hairstyle. Sorry, but I don't know. Short hair looks good. I like it. Oh. Okay. Glasses. I don't really care about the model. I like the one earring though. Like, yeah, looks cute. PJ's one. Do you? Huh. Yeah, that's good. That's good enough. Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh, sheesh. Oh, sheesh. Done. We're done. Okay. Since you are meticulously cove and are old enough to start being physically affectioned more seriously, you can choose what initiative level he has through this step. Okay, well, you know what? Before you do that, let's take a break because I need to drink, I need to get up, and I need to pee. And I probably need to eat a little bit something, so we'll probably like take a snack. So guys, tea time. the bag. Okay, there you go. Make sure the player experience Making sure the player experiences what they want is important in our life, but always putting your choice first can potentially make a relationship feel one-sided. So we've added some flexibility in how it works. Low initiative means that Cole will occasionally ask to touch your main character, and in those situations there will always be an opportunity to say yes or no. For example, he won't simply lean over and kiss the main character as a greeting or in an emotional moment. Every piece of physical interaction will be either initiated or approved by the player before it happens. Middle initiative means that there will be those certain times when Cole requests to touch the main character, many chances to initiate affection on your own, and also he will pretty regularly give affection automatically. One example would be giving the main character a kiss because he's happy or emotional or something else. In other situations, you can choose not to make a first move in order to give Cole space to be the one to act afterwards. Overall, the interest can get romantic, but the player agency will take priority. High initiative includes everything middle does, but it also means the player agency will be reduced or looking in favor of having Cole give physical affection even more frequently and less prompting. Instead of all the major affection giving situation being led by a choice menu for you to decide on, some will instead be replaced by Cole acting automatically. This level is only recommended if you are very comfortable with physical affection. I would prefer to simply see it happen rather than always holding the reins on it. However, this level is mostly relevant if Cove ends up as your official boyfriend at some point. Situation with a high level initiative makes a different tend to come up in scenes that are exclusive to being in a relationship. The parts are also included in the middle initiative, which will be seen whether you're dating or not. Once you pick your level, it can be changed partway through a step. The choice only comes up at the very beginning of the story section. We hope you enjoy whichever initiative option you decide on. What initiative level would you like Cove to have in step 3? I want to go for the high initiative. I want to see. The start of classes ended the relaxed 3 days of summer. It didn't take long for you to get back into swing of the school year routine. Schedule and homework became the new normal. Derek wasn't around nearly as much. With school and after-school activities, there weren't many opportunities for him to take the trip out to your neighborhood. Sometimes you would hear that he was at a training camp or something like that, but you weren't always sure what he was up to. We still kept in touch over the phone as best as you could. The Jeremy kid did disappear after that summer and no one ever heard from him again. Where he went and what he might be up to was a mystery. Most summer came and went like the waves on the shore, coming in and out. In your second year of high school, someone new started to visit Sunset Bird, a sunny girl named Terry Brooke. She was a friend Cove made due to them both being ocean obsessed. Terry was more than glad to be a friend you too. Someone close to Cove had to be good company, she felt. You were pleased to get along with her as well. Terry was tight with another girl who you had known distantly from school for a long time, Miranda Eckert. You saw more and more of her as time went on, thanks to Terry Miranda's own outreach. After a while, all of you developed a real friendship together. As for your home life, the horny jails also had development. Changing law and republic perception countrywide made it possible for your moms to openly wear their wedding rings without questions. Though they had a wedding years ago, it was only recently that the union was officially recognized everywhere in the US. That was a good day, to say the least. Elizabeth came into her own and stopped being quite as irritable. She'd no longer worry about perceived childishness, and she grew up for real. She didn't even mind being called Lizzie again, although most people used Liz. She eventually graduated high school and moved out to attend college in another state. It was a lot for you to adjust to your older sister being gone. This never let you forget her role in your life, though, and kept in touch. Cove's relationship with his family improved over the years. Kira was visited several times after that summer, and things became easier between the two. He was also closer with his dad than ever before. You knew that they talked more, and that helped prevent a lot of friction before he could start. However, Cove grew into someone no one could call social. He kept to himself usually. He cared for the few connections he did have, but didn't reach outside them. Outdoors and physical activity still had his heart and his body, but at this point he had developed real skills. Many people thought he had what it took to become a pro. Things had shifted. Things had shifted between you and Cove, but in a way that most couldn't see. After all this time, he wasn't just your neighbor. He wasn't only your friend or even a guy you were interested in. You were in love with him. You loved Cove. You knew that factor for certain. There was no one else you held those feelings for. It was strange to look back on it all. The future faded into your present, and then it was simply the past. Even the most fundamental part of your life couldn't last forever. You felt that the most pointedly, the day you inevitably graduated high school. It was over, and you would not be going back ever again. From now on, what came was blah blah. From now on, what came next was your choice. You would be directing your own life. That was where you were currently, the summer after school ended, the first summer of true freedom. What used to be a reprieve from the typical was now going to be the first step into adulthood. Wow. One fine summer morning, you took in what had become a very special scene, the whole family having a meal together. Thanks, sis. Grew up. Your big sister Liz still hadn't lived at home full-time for a couple years, but she arrived last week to spend the season here since it was an off semester for her. She wanted to make sure she was in town because you had now also graduated high school, so who knew how much rarer those moments would become in the future. You watched on as Liz laughed good-naturedly over a comment Ma made. Her Elizabeth-only mindset had only been a phase. Nearly any nickname was welcome to this point in her life. Strangely, even though she moved away, you'd lately felt closer to her than you had in a long time. You idly scooped up more than your breakfast and chewed absent-mindedly. You were vegetarian, you were vegan, pescatarian, you were polartarian, you were picky eater. I'm just a picky eater. At the meal you had reflected that. Your moms were happy to make food that fitted your needs, along with dishes for themselves that didn't, though you often made your own food nowadays. But it wasn't only you who had a diet that excluded certain things, as Liz had been vegetarian for a while. Then she went back to her, I think, normal color. They do feel a bit older now, though. When you look at her, like the eyes, they do feel a bit older now. Conversation had gone on idly, without you fully taking in the words, until your ears were picked when Ma started on a bit of town gossip.
Uh-huh.
And so that's how I heard the news. Alright, now stop being the lead and tell us, what is this so-called news? Ma giggled as she cast a look across the table, satisfied that she had everyone's attention. Well, it turns out the Donnells won't be renting out the condo up the street as per a sunset bird tradition, for the first time in what must have been nearly 2 decades. A chorus was gap and shocked expressions were had all around. After the initial shock, your eyebrows pinched. Ma considered nope, not now. Ma may considered them by name, but you and Liz always view them exclusively as the mean old couple who would yell at anyone under 25 cross the path. Your Ma continued on with the story, spreading strawberry jam over a piece of toast as she did so. They decided not to take big trips anymore. Friendly family will be visiting them at their home. That's nice for them. Then have a good summer, mean grandparents with no grandkids away from us. Let's not make any comments. Be nice, Liz. You don't want to end up like them, do you? Your sister cracked a smile at the joke.
Well,
At least we won't be here to yell at my children anymore.
Lonnie.
Lonnie. And that blunt comment got laughter for all 3 of you. Engrossed in conversation once more, continue to chat with your family until the meal was over. What? Step 3. Third time's charm. Ooh. As it went, once the food was eaten, the cleanup had to be done. Liz took the role of washing the dishes and passed them to you for drying and putting away. You had a set of cups in front of you that needed to go on the top shelf of a cabinet. That should be all. Just all is good. It really shot up in heights the last few years. No one had seen it coming. What do you mean? Yeah, feel great. I feel great about my height. I feel great. Your height was something about yourself that you were always quite pleased with. Liz shook you out of your internal musing by starting up an impromptu conversation. She seemed to be voicing the thoughts that had been buzzing around in her own head. I have to say, going back for another semester this fall is pretty intimidating. You'd think after the first year or two, I'd have to handle on things, but no. You slowly glanced at her, still placing cups in their proper place. I guess it's only fair. My first round was pretty general classes, and year 1 of my architecture major was the basics. Now if it's serious, I have to actually know some things. The laugh she gave was flippantly airy, but the way she scrubbed at the plate poured more force than necessary. Come on, I know you can do it, sis. How sweet of you to believe in me, thanks. The older sister's mouth quaked into a small smile. I'll be fine, one way or another. Oh, but I'm not trying to scare you away from college, if that's even your plan. What is going on with that anyway? Started plan set for a long time, you have a firm conclusion recently. You had a kind of a general idea, you had no idea. Came to a firm conclusion recently. You answered the question as much as you were able and willing to. Liz's smile grew more reassuring as you did. You made it through 12 years of full-time education already. You can make your ideas happen, I'm sure. Sometimes it still felt hard to believe your public schooling experience was over in the end. You You had graduated at the top of the class. You soared through with high marks. You had to work extremely hard but were rewarded with great grades. Let's take the high marks, and you were going to miss it, and you felt satisfied, and you wish it would have gone better, and you were still just glad it was truly behind you. Going to miss it, going to miss the friends, It had been a familiar and fulfilling part of your life. Liz picked up on the silence her question ended up creating. She decided it was time to make a closing statement on the topic.
You're a good boy.
Excuse me? What the hell? Do what's best for you and we'll be here to back it up. Thanks, Liz. Liz happily passed the final dish your way. She waved the soapy, soaked hand as a farewell and moved on to her next task for the cleanup job. You refocused on getting the last pieces put back where they belonged. You eventually moved on the new core. That was interrupted by the sound of your cell phone. It was the phone's default ringtone. You had it use Sleep Novelty song as a ringtone. You'd set one of the most work songs as a ringtone. Just default. You casually picked it up from the table where you had placed it earlier. The phone was a couple years old at this point. Having been a 16th birthday gift from your parents, I decided which model to get, but you got to pick the color. It was silver, black, gold, rose gold, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, turquoise. Turquoise. And it was the phone. You didn't do anything to decorate it. And it had the spell charm attached to it. Nah, nothing. The screen lit up as you gave the little device a swipe with one finger. You were informed by a caller ID that it was Lee. You weren't surprised. Despite having busier and busier lives and not living in the same time, you still had a good relationship with your cousin of the same age. Especially once the miracle of the both of you having your own phones actually happened. She got hers first though. Tapping at the accept button, you answered her call. A familiar bubbly voice came through her right after.
Hi.
Hi, Jimmy. Hiya. I trust I'm not interrupting anything major? I'll do some cleaning around the house. Oh, then you're welcome for my call. A distraction from that must have been desperately needed. Yeah, thanks, my dear cousin. I've done course, you joked. I like cleaning, you pressed it honestly. It's good to hear from you. Good to hear from you, right? She giggled and you could hear the jangling of the jewelry she must be wearing. Nothing amazing is happening for me either. I'm bored and felt like chatting. My morning shift ended, so I'm free for the rest of the day. Woo! That's good. Let's not work. Don't want to. No. No. Well, like you, Lee had started dipping her toes into a workforce as of late. It made keeping in touch frequently even more complicated, but you both managed. What about you? It's been pretty normal.
Cool.
Cool. That's you then. So, how's Mr. Cole Holden doing? There was a teasing bend to her tone. She was never willing to let up on what was going on between the two of you. That name was incredibly familiar to your ears. Cove, your next door neighbor, for the past decade at this point. But he was far more than just someone who lived on the same street. You vividly remember the summer day you expressed your feelings for each other as little 13 years old. I kind of want to see the scenario where they're starting dating recently. Don't know why. feel like he could be like very cute. So yeah. And you're in love with him, but that was one thing you hadn't met yet, and you weren't in love with him, but didn't want to talk about that at this point in your life. Just not having a minute yet. Are you even surviving without the boy being 10 feet away at all times? Or is everything alright with the world again and his back? No, Lee, he isn't here. Just like he wasn't here yesterday, or last time you asked, or the time before that.
Sorry.
Oh, my bad. Can't blame me. Does it seem like doesn't it seem like he should have made his grand return already? Plus, I want to visit soon, and he needs to be there too. I could understand where she was coming from. It was certainly outside the norm. For the past couple months, and the last few weeks especially, Kos had been going to his mom's place in Nevada. The two of you still regularly stayed in contact over text and calls, but still. Your mind began to drift back in time to all the prior trips he'd taken to visit her. Almost every year, he'd have to go away for a while and then he'd be back. It made you sad and lonely when it happened, you never minded. Kind enough to have a break from the void, which wasn't a fan but made do. It was shitty, it upset you. Let's not mind, it's normal, it's his mom. The time was away, you helped mom you ship out care package to him and his mom. Treasures to take with him before he left. Kept an eye on his eye for him while he wasn't there. You weren't capable of doing anything when he was back. Keep an eye out on his house, you know? I don't know, I like it, but I don't know, I just like it. I felt like it the least you could do when you were younger, and nothing ended up happening, so maybe it worked. He sent you letters while there in return. That's how it was in the past, but lately he had been trying to see her as much as he could before taking long trips to another state become too impractical to do. His part-time work could become full-time soon, and he could be moving somewhere else for school. Cove hadn't actually been entirely clear what his plans were after graduation. Cove was hesitant to speak on that, even with you. It couldn't be avoided forever though. You both knew that.
Well,
Maybe we could switch this up to a non-Cove rating topic? Sounds like a plan. The rest of the conversation rolled on, not much longer though. Lee had to go and you needed to finish your responsibilities around the house. Both of you exchanged goodbyes, then you went back to what you've been working on before the call came in. As you wrapped up the last of your core, you were approached by Liz wearing a cheeky smile. I got mom's keys, wanna go out of this teeny town to do some shopping in real city? That sounds great.
good.
Good, I'm driving. That was obvious, you didn't know how to drive. You're glad of that, you just still had a learner's permit. And though you could drive too, it was her plans. She could do what she wanted. Don't know how to drive. Go get the wallet and anything else, we're going now. With a nod, you made a quick detour to collect your stuff from your bedroom. You had money saved up from a gift you'd received. Ooh, nice car. I like the color. After making sure you both were fully prepared for the long haul to the largest city in the surrounding area, you buckled into the car. It was a smooth ride there, with light conversation about what shop to stop at and the radio blasting. The trip there breezed by, and in what felt like no time you had gone from cruising down the road to cruising through the mall. Liz had her interest to check out and knew yours. Your hobbies and skills were still the ones you developed when you were younger. Still the ones. When turning a corner down a new length of the mall, your eyes caught on a little gift store. Your friends and family had recently given you many presents for graduating high school. You realized you wanted to get a graduation gift yourself to give to Cove. Ready to give to Cove when the chance came. I would be like, I have it already. It was something you had known you had to do, and you were looking forward to seeing his reaction. Graduation may have already come and gone, but Cove wasn't really around, so you had to wait. Eventually, the mall was explored in full, with every shop of note being checked over. Rather than going home, you decided to walk over to some smaller stores nearby. Liz had many thoughts on that topic.
So?
Honestly, malls are not a bastion of society. Even if a smaller store required extra distance, the brands are so much more. Then your sister abruptly stopped speaking and walking right in the middle of the path. It was a good thing no one was behind her. She seemed to entirely shut off for a moment. Liz? The attempt to catch her attention was unsuccessful. Something else had all her focus. Before you could puzzle what might be happening, she began to mumble out of the corner of her mouth. Jamie, don't touch your shoulder, but look. What? With a harsh whisper and subtle jerk of her head, she urged you once more.
Hey!
Look. You followed her gaze as best as you could to a large bunch of colorful teens strolling down the same path. Okay. You faced back over to your sister with a confused expression, an unspoken question. What were you supposed to be seeing there? Jamie, doesn't one of them seem familiar? She was practically bouncing at this point, so you looked at the group over again. But this time you saw what she was seeing. Oh, that's someone we didn't see in a long time. Amongst the collection stranger was brown hair, grey eyes, and lots of freckles. That's Shiloh, our Shiloh, from when we were kids. Yep, that's definitely him. I can't believe it. He's honestly just there. That's hilarious. That's incredible. Oh, but how do we talk to him? We'd have to pull him away from all those other people, and what if I'm wrong? Your mouth opened to reply, but she cut it off with her own answer to a question. I've got it. I shot the name Shiloh, and then we can all act like it wasn't us. Bro, if you respond to that, we'll know without doubt it's him. Jamie, keep an eye out to see if he looks. Can't you just try talking to him normally? We're not doing that, it's a super plan. Likely without even hearing what you had to say, Liz put her plan into action. Shiloh! He shouted blah blah. She loudly projected the word across the way and put an act of casualness, turning her head away from the scene while brushing at the skirt of her dress. In a supremely awkward moment, you could only stand there as attention. In the area shifted to the two of you thanks to your sister's shout. But the many startled bystander who became altered to your presence, one of them was the boy. From a distance, his large eyes met yours. He looked. Her white grin took over Liz's face. She pushed the rim of her sun hat up and away from her face, while swishing back around to greet her old friend directly. Shiloh! Waving, she stepped a bit closer to express her intention to meet, without really closing the gap. She wanted him to come to her. Who you presume to be Shiloh looked surprised at the call-out. He stole a quick glance at the crowd he was with, as hesitantly glanced back away. He was trying to double-check something. Liz remained steadfast, with her gaze trained on him, and intimately, he broke away from the rest of them. Ismol. After a light-footed jog across the brick path, the young man pleasantly presented himself in front of Liz and you.
Hi.
Hi, I like your hat. Just that simple greeting had Liz giggle.
Hey.
Hello. I'm not sure if you remember this, but I'm Lizzie. And that's Jamie. We were all friends when we were little kids. His already wide eyes grew even larger. They gazed darting between you and Liz. His previously chipper demeanor faded into something delicate. I'm really sorry, but I think you have the wrong person. Clearly now. You could tell not being instantly recognized was going to make this exchange more of a challenge. Still, Liz was undeterred. It was a long time ago, you're really young. I get why you feel like that. However, I'm positive I'm right, you're exactly the same. That face, the freckles, how genuinely you try to face things. You're even still wearing a hat. Instinctively, he looked up at his I was gonna say underwear, I was like, what? Instinctively, he looked up at his headwear with creased brows, not making the connection on why the hat meant something to her.
Okay.
We knew each other, okay? An easy smile settled on him as the silence followed this speech. He was picking his next word carefully. Then the quiet was obliterated by a new voice bursting into the conversation. Shiloh? What are you doing? The rest of the group already left. The field trip's not a vacation, we are on schedule. Startled, you had snapped towards the path. You distinctly unhappy individual with piercing magenta eyes, dark brown skin, and a jaw stormed your way. He carried a cloud of authority with him, despite looking like he wasn't even 18 yet. Sorry, I didn't mean to ditch. Shiloh, whose name was now official, confirmed, gestured with a hand to add to the explanation of his absence, as the stranger watched impatiently. They thought they recognized me as someone they knew, but it was just a tiny misunderstanding. Liz theoretically as well as literally put her foot down at that, stomping in frustration and getting more childish the longer she was around her childhood companion.
Come on.
We do know you. Shiloh merely shrunk in on himself. The tone he spoke with was pained. Sorry. You honestly couldn't tell if he was apologizing for upset feeling of your sister, or the palpable dissatisfaction of his new acquaintance. That in itself was very Shiloh-like. And you know him? Is that it? The stranger spoke in a dismissively scoffing tone, as if the words counted. So absurd to him, it was almost amusing. Almost, but the sternness of his demeanor quickly reinstated itself. Well, do you know me? I'll tell you. I'm someone who has been forced against his will to be aware of what's going on in Shiloh's ridiculous personal life for a year. If the two of you had any importance in his general day-to-day existence, it would have come up by now. Rude. Don't bother trying to exaggerate any true connection you might have, it's not good enough. He's with us and you survive without him. Now stop loitering in the road, it's rude.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? We're the rude ones? The high-strung ranting got an audible gasp from Shiloh, who was finally started to speak up again in defense. Nate, that's really mean. It's also true, leaving. With that declaration, are they like boyfriends? What is this? With that declaration, the unofficially introduced Nate indignantly spun on his heels and walked speedily towards where the group went, completely confident that Shiloh would follow behind. Oh, people can sure have bad attitudes, huh? Why can't they just try to get along? It's not hard. Don't worry though, I bet you won't have to deal with him again. And I'm sorry I can't stay to talk to you, but I hope you have a really nice life.
Bye.
Bye! Okay. That was it. His final parting words given, Shiloh left the two of you behind to catch up with his own life that he had to go live. Liz watched his exit stunned, only to frown when it hit her that he was really gone as quickly as he appeared. It happened so fast, you hadn't even been able to get a word in. She cited all the energy she built up, releasing with the breath. Could have told him his last name was Fields. His birthday is October 30th. 13th? I don't know. That would have proved it, but no. Wow, Shiloh grew up to be dumb. You were left feeling deflated? Poor Nate, he sucks. Well, damn. You couldn't help but laugh. He's dumb. You noted the words in disbelief at how dense he had been. The one could catch up with him? Liz merely shook her head, pushing off childish thoughts. I think we can leave it here, thanks. He's in the middle of high school field trip and it was already enough being able to see him. There's something reassuring about witnessing firsthand that he's still out there, enjoying his own part of the world. Though, if given the chance, I could definitely have a few words with him about the company he's got. She laughed, but you could tell there wasn't much humor to it. She was mad at that guy, even if she was happy to let Shiloh go. Maybe they're only with each other because of the trip and not usually how things are.
Right?
True. We can only hope the same for him as he did for us. Have a nice life, Shiloh. Yeah, have a good life. Let's mad at you. It had the self-confidence you knew so well from her. Come on, little baby bro. Let's finish our own trip. Yeah. No matter how either of you really felt about the occurrence, it was something you simply had to accept. People you know just disappear and reappear in the most unexpected ways. The two of you enjoyed what remaining of your outing until it was time to return home. By the time you arrived back, the sun was already beginning to set. Da-da-da-da. You arched your back as you stretched your arm towards the ceiling. While it had been a good day, it had enough activity to cover an entire week. Liz tried to hide a yawn behind her hand. You weren't the only one feeling worn out. Let me drink some tea. I'll be heading up to your room, the guest room, since mine stopped being available as soon as I was out the door. Her tone was light. She had quite a lot to say on the subject when you'd first taken over her bigger room after she left for college, but there have been many trips back home for her since then. The room hasn't been hers for years. It was more of a running joke now that she continued to bring the topic up to this day. Just wanted to follow in my big sister's shoes. Flattery is a compliment can only go so far, Jamie. A small laugh was shared between you and your old sister. You better believe you'll be back in the guest room when you've got your own place and we're both in town for a visit. Sure. Your second won't save you here. I'm taking that as an agreement. Nope. She flashed a familiar grin and you couldn't help but feel glad she was back around, even if it was temporary. With that, she plodded off to a spare room. You were ready to do the same. Moving into a new space was her first opportunity to decorate from scratch. Design your room? Oh wow, okay. Green, purple, yellow, blue. Okay, let me watch. Okay. Green. Small bed. I like the office and the thing here. Purple. The bit thing for like makeup, which is why. I like this. The bed is not really my style though. Ooh, I like this. I like this bedroom, yes. Extras. Extra 1. Extra 2. Extra 1, yeah. Window. Left, right. Yeah, sure. Walls. Left, back, light. No, back. Floor. Left or right. I like there's actually nothing there. I like it. I like this. It feels a bit more on the walls, a bit more, full. I guess. Oh, there's more than one. I like this one. Okay, windows. Oh, books, flower, plant. Oh, I like this. Extra 1. Extra 2. No, layout. Okay. Okay. I like it layout, yeah. Done. Wow. I didn't expect this though. Like, wow, okay. I like it though. It's nice. You were really satisfied with the feel of your tiny part of the world. As your thoughts drifted, you tried to bite down another yawn. It was no good. Your bed was now lush in your mind, and all you could think about was collapsing on it. You trudged up the stairs to your room. Stepping aside, you closed the door behind you, blocking the rest of the house. When you turned back around, you realized you were not alone in there. Comfortably perched on the windowsill was someone very familiar to you. She, sir. Cove Holden. The sharp knock always have you, huh? Just, huh? I like the, huh? Surprise? His tone was easy and relaxed. It certainly was a surprise. You hadn't expected him to be within the state. Never mind your own house. He hadn't answered how he had suddenly just approached back in Sunset Bird. Though, to be fair, you had been so astounded, there hadn't been much of an opportunity for him to chat with you. Thankfully, Cove was only waiting for a good moment to start. I began to explain.
So...
Oh, nice voice. Different voice. I got in about 15 minutes ago. No one was home, so I figured I'd come in the usual way. Ooh, the window. A small smile had formed on his face. You were still staring at him, unable to blink in case he disappeared. Could still barely believe that he was really there, mere feet away from you. I left my bags in your backyard. I hope that's alright. Sure? You could have just bring them up, you know, like just bring them up. That was when you truly understood. Cove had come straight to you upon getting back to town. You were his first port of call, taking precedence above all else. Even though you hadn't been in when he called, Cove had ensured that he'd see you at the earliest opportunity, rather than allowing his plans to change. Let's walk over. He was here, and it was exactly where he wanted to be. There was no need to hesitate in enjoying his presence. As you approached, Cove quickly hopped from the windowsill to meet you. You're too crazy. I'm so glad you're here. I missed you. Trevor's back in town. I can't believe my eyes, just the most amazing man in the world. I like this one. I pulled his hair, wrapped him in a gentle embrace, pulled him into a bone-crushing hug, jumped into his arm, smile him, kiss him. Smile. Yee. Coven ducked his head as he's trying to dodge your overwhelming compliment. The whole world is a little much, Jamie. I don't think it is. He lowered his voice. You live in the world too, you know, so it definitely can't be true. Sheesh. Or sheesh, sir. Oh, wow. That was nice. Nice one. Ooh. You felt your face burning with color. Thankfully, Cove didn't press the point. Your smile fueled Cove's own, brightening him even further. Being the focus of your joy and attention made a blush bloom on his skin like flower blossoming in the spring. I missed you. Even if it hadn't said it outright, you would have gotten the message from his body language. Cove was grinning widely, his right cheek burying his eyes, which gleamed with like hidden gems. But he looked at you as you were the most exciting treasure of all. How was your trip? Cove's brow seized as he considered your question. He leaned in and kissed you. After a long moment, he broke the kiss and tilted his face back, just enough to speak, but not so much that your forehead stopped touching. I hated it. Oh. Let's never be apart again, okay? He said that absolutely as a joke, an exaggeration. Something that wasn't a real request, of course. And yet, despite all that, it felt real. Your heart hammered in your chest. Your heart swam, cast adrift in a tide of thoughts and adrenaline. Cove smiled as he offered a silent apology for a sudden onslaught of tenderness. But he let the words proudly out in the air, all the same. Cove told you about how the trip back had gone. So you not even recovered enough to actually listen. His mom was doing really well. She had a project in the works that she was thrilled about. As a result, Cove was going to be sticking around in Sunset Bird for a long time being. No, for the time being, sorry. Things were settled as much as there ever could be. With Cove back once more, he felt at ease. Cove stretched his arm out over his head, his eyes on the window and the world beyond. The sun had set while you'd be busy reuniting.
Well,
I should probably get my stuff and see Dad. He glanced over to you with a familiar, expected look. Wanna come with me? Sure, I can go with you for a little while.
cool.
Ooh. Cole began to head to your bedroom door. This is on piggyback, right? Why would I do that? If I'm not after him. Oh dang, the house changed. The whole living room was not like that. I can remember. I don't remember about this part, and I think the kitchen changed too. I think it was like white before and just a thing here, but that's it. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. I know the sofa changed though, and the rug. That is like for sure, absolutely yes. The two of you casually went down to the ground floor of your house. In all the excitement of Cole's return, you hadn't even remembered the gift you'd prepared for when he got back. It would be best to give it to him now, before he left your house. Can you wait? Blah blah. Can you wait here for a little while? I got something for you. Cole's eyes widened as he tried to conceal a smile. He told with a collar of his top.
Really?
Really? I mean, you didn't have to do that. You nodded with some eagerness, trying to imagine how he'd react when he actually saw it. Something special. It was a dolphin-shaped balloon, a fruit basket, new fish for his aquarium, an anklet for you to model for him. Ooh, ooh. I like that. It goes back to what he said on the road trip with your RV. It goes back to that, so I like it. Even though this also goes back to the aquarium he has in his room and the fish that we named. But still, you know, I like this. I don't know. You smiled to yourself as you ascended the stairs to retrieve your gift. It looked innocent though, tucked away safely in your room, but appearances could be deceiving. You picked it up and hurried back down to Cove, item hidden in your hand. You waited until you were in front of him to reveal the item, holding it out before your longtime neighbor. Cove smiled, still none of the wiser.
Cool.
Nice, Jimmy, I can definitely wear that. You pulled back your hand and held the handkerchief to your chest. That isn't what this is about. It's not for you to wear. The gift is seeing me wear it. That sounds so sassy. Why? Cove's mouth dropped open. His hand was still outstretched from when he reached out for the gift, left hovering, forgotten in the air. Still the same head. Cove tended to blush easily in your experience, but didn't remember him ever managing such a deep shade of red before. He dropped his frozen arm and looked at the floor, speechless and defeated. There was no word for this. You're seriously too nice to me. You smiled back. I don't think there's such a thing as too nice when it's come to you. Ow. Cole brushed his hand away the pale ghost of a scar on his arm. He was at the loss for what to do now. The clock ticked away, counting the seconds of silence. Once you had a chance to settle your thoughts, you figured to tell Cove the intriguing news. I went to the area. I saw Shiloh today.
Huh?
Shiloh? Cove repeated the name, his expression blank. From when we were kids. Cove pondered for a moment, then snapped his finger. Oh, he was a freaky boy that from that first summer, right? The one who moved. I met a guy named Shiloh. He looked just like Shiloh we knew, plus however many years. But he didn't remember me and just left. Cove frowned. That's, I don't know. Too bad I missed it. But you knew him better than I did. That was definitely true. Not only had Cove known Shiloh for a shorter period of time, but he and Shiloh had never quite gotten along. Now that they were enemies, not that they were enemies, I was like, now what, why? Not that they were enemies either, just kids who were only ever together because of other people who they both knew. I wonder what Shallow's up to these days? I don't have any idea, he didn't say much. Oh well. That was everything you had on that news item. So you move on to the next big update. Also, you know the mean old neighbors? The ones who always yell at us? He cringed. Recalling those particular memories of back in the days was not pleasant even for someone as nostalgic as him. Yeah, they're coming. They didn't rent the condo though this summer. Cove's jaw dropped. You didn't blame him. The elderly couple had been an institution for as far back as you could remember, long predating Cove's arrival. Even now, as a teenager, you find your neck pricking as you walked by their condo, half expecting a scolding for breathing the wrong way in the vicinity of their vacation home. It was strange to think of that coming to an end. Wow. Cove blinked, clearly struggling with the idea in the same way you had. I didn't see that coming. People being gone, people coming back. It feels like I've missed a lot. This has been a busy summer already. And well, you haven't missed the fireflies. They haven't shown up yet. Well, that's something. And we better not get left behind. There's still stuff to do. You nodded. The two of you headed out and traced the most familiar path you'd ever walked. The trip across the road over to Cove's house. It seemed that no sooner had the night begun that it was already at an end, and the dawn of a new day was soon upon you. Okay, I'm gonna save here and stop here for today. Before we start the next day, I'm gonna stop here. It's been a long time since I've been streaming. It's been 4 hours, so I think it's good for today. So let's change screen and come here. Up. I said up. There you go. So I will be raiding someone. Don't know who yet. Who am I raiding? Who? Veskiran or Better? Ooh. Better has a lot of people watching. Oh, I raid him. Raiding Better. So, thank you guys for watching me today. If you wanna follow me on Twitter or join my Discord server, it's down below. Even in the VOD, I think it's in the description, I believe. I really think. Anyway. I will be going now, so bye-bye. I see you tomorrow for League of Legends with Haya. Hope you guys will be there. And yeah, and the VOD from this and yesterday will be up after this. So yeah. Now I'm gonna go eat. I'm hungry. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.